And now the B Plus Wrestling Podcast. Watch global. Support local. It's the B Plus Wrestling Podcast.
The move.
You might not be an A, but you are a B plus.
Check it out! Here we go! You wanna mess with us? Cause we're steady on the ground, steady on the ground.
All right, ladies, gents, and non-binary friends, welcome to another B Plus podcast. Happy Lupercalia! That's what they used to call Valentines Day back in ancient Rome. How are you celebrating Lupercalia, my good friend Osaka Ben Tokyo, the Quizmaster man?
Oh, well, I'll be going to Melbourne and I'll spend it with my girlfriend. Have a drink of your water. No, I'm going to Melbourne on Friday night because I'm doing a Spartan race on Saturday morning at Marvel Stadium. So
everyone needs to take a shot whenever he mentions his girlfriend. Let's remember that.
Yep.
I'm kidding.
You get no more
I'm really
drinks.
sorry that you got so upset about that.
Yeah, are you?
I am.
Oh.
I didn't know you were going to get upset. We're going to start a feud between you and Alex now. We're going to have to culminate it somehow.
I was waiting for the message to come through when you started editing the podcast, and I never heard anything. I was like, I guess that's what's happening with this podcast. And it was up. It's like, oh, okay. Well, I guess I'll talk to.
I'll tell you what, you guys. I feel sick for a week. I mean, Mr Myster1ous isn't here right now because he's doing Lupercalia things himself. It's smart. Get out and celebrate Lupercalia before the actual day, because everyone else is doing it on the day, so the restaurants are packed to the brim. That's a very smart idea. But yeah, no. I was listening when I was editing. Right, I couldn't help but think, I leave you guys for 1 week, and you get such horrible takes as WWE are doing bad financially. Like, what? Where is that take coming from?
Is that what I said though? I said like it'll.
No, that was Mr Myster1ous. He's not here. I can't confront him.
Okay. I was waiting until he listens, and then he's going to be mad.
Yeah, this is our new pattern. Is we're gonna have one person off, and we're gonna just take shots at them. You had some awful takes last week, Mr Myster1ous. Awful. I don't believe in doing that stuff in the group chat. You know, I'll just talk to you right here about it. You know?
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So, while the tape's rolling, man, let's get it all out there.
Right.
Let's get it all out there. Do you have any grievances you want to air? I mean, it's not. What day is it that you air grievances? What's that day called?
Christmaka? No, that was that thing of the OC, wasn't it? Christmaka. Yeah.
Christmaka. I don't know what Christmaka is. It's from Seinfeld, though. The airing of grievances.
Seinfeld thing. But
it's the day before Christmas Eve or whatever, right?
I just thought Festivus. Yeah, I thought it was just
Festivus
instead of Christmas Day.
Well, we're the day before Valentine's Day or Lupercalia, so we can have our own Festivus. Let's air some grievances.
Yes,
I have a grievance to air.
Okay.
I'm gonna air it prematurely. World Series Wrestling are coming back, right?
So yeah,
I bet they don't come to Adelaide.
Airing grievances every time they post anything on Facebook. It's like it's a nightmare looking at that the comments thread. So not only because you've got people complaining that they're not going to come to wherever they live, then you've got people like that are like in Melbourne or seem to be in Melbourne saying, "Oh, could you at least come somewhere closer to the city?" And here I'm thinking, Adelaide people, Tasmanian people, you know, they have to fly, and here you are in the city, and you got to complain that you got to get an Uber 30 minutes or whatever.
Yeah,
and then,
it's too far. It's too far from where I work on a Friday night. On a Friday night, I understand, though, to be fair. I can understand why Friday nights don't sell as many tickets, being that it's south of the city, right?
Southeast, yes. At the Southeast Entertainment Centre. Yeah, Ferntree Gully.
Yeah, but on the Saturday, you got no fucking excuse, mate. No excuse.
And then the stupidity of people like...
Because here's the thing, hang on. Those same motherfuckers, now that you've got me on this, those same motherfuckers will rant and rave about how Melbourne has the best public transport in the world. Use it, motherfucker. Use it.
Hey, I've done public transport to get to that show before, and that's not good. You know, the Ferntree Gully train station is still, I think it's a 45-minute walk to the venue. So you get there, and then you've got to get on a bus. So you're better off just Ubering from the city because it's a real pain to get there. But
Yeah. I'm just saying, people always talk about how great Melbourne is. Come to Adelaide, man. Adelaide's a beautiful city. I don't know. Adelaide's underrated. I don't know why people don't like Adelaide. You know who else isn't coming to Adelaide? Green Day and Blink-182. Not Blink-182. Who the fuck are they touring with? Green Day and Weezer and Fall Out Boy.
yeah, I
Right?
don't listen to those bands. Okay.
Oh, dude, those bands were my childhood. Fallout. I have a Fall Out Boy tattoo. And everyone's like, "Oh, you're gonna go to Melbourne for Fall Out Boy? You're gonna go to Sydney for Fall Out Boy?" No, fuck that. They haven't had a good album in like 8 years. Why would I fly to another city to see them when I've seen all their good stuff live anyway?
How often do they
You know?
put out albums? Are they still? Was 8 years ago actually their last album?
No, they've got more recent albums. Their last good one was like Infinity on High. Like they have not released a good album in a long time.
Is that the one with "Wake Me Up When September Ends"? Like that's the last.
No, that's Green Day. That's
who are we talking about? Fall Out Boy.
And that's American Jesus
Oh,
or whatever it was called. The Suburbia, Jesus of Suburbia. That was a good album. Green Day stuff's still pretty dope. The newest Green Day is still pretty good. The newest Weezer is really good as well. They got some good shit. But I just like, it's just not the same. So I don't know. I talked to
what bands?
I talked to Charlie Matthews about it.
Like Alice Cooper is the last. Oh, we get Elton John a couple times here and there, but yeah, Alice Cooper came to Launceston twice. But we did have Foo Fighters. They came to Hobart like 2 years ago. Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers maybe 2 years ago
dope.
as well. But like
That's dope.
In the last 10 years, that's it.
Yeah, not much happening in our necks of the woods. I get more stuff than that. But here's the thing too, concerts are overpriced now. Like you can go to a wrestling show and watch world-class talent for $20.
Yeah, way better
but
deal.
You can
and be so close as well.
Yeah, but if you want to go watch a semi-decent musical act, minimum $60 these days. It's ridiculous.
And that's not like even talking about like Guns N' Roses at the MCG. Like I paid like $250, which I was happy to, and I was not down on the field. I was still, I was like,
no, I'm not talking about big acts. I'm not talking about big acts. Like I don't care for going to see big acts. Like I saw Fall Out Boy when I was watching them with 2,000 other people. I saw My Chemical Romance at the Roundhouse when there was like 1,500 people watching. Like I prefer it those smaller shows, and I like the more intimate settings. And I think that's why I prefer local wrestling as well. Like when I went to that WWE Super Showdown thing, it was trash.
Yeah,
it was trash. Like it was
looking at
nothing enjoyable. Yeah. Except, being there for the atmosphere of The Undertaker's entrance, of course, that was amazing. But other than that, like, I literally paid, like, I was in the cheap seats, and I paid that $60 just to be there for the atmosphere of The Undertaker. You know what I mean? Like, that was it.
That would have been ants.
That was the only thing.
You must have been right back up the top then.
Yeah, we were right up the top. It was, like, we were so far away, like, you couldn't hear, like, you couldn't hear anything. Like when they were connecting with punches and kicks, like nothing. It was just silence. And then when they would like land a suplex or something, it would be really loud because the ring was mic'd.
Oh, there was not
was
a
awful.
delay of the sound hitting you?
A little bit. Yeah, no, there was a little bit of a delay. It was.
What a horrible way to watch wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah. So I much prefer the intimate setting of a local show or a smaller band. So like when I'm saying like, you get like, Hobo Johnson came out recently, and he did Adelaide as part of his tour.
I didn't realize he was gay.
And what?
You said Hobo Johnson?
Hobo.
Yeah, he came out recently, he said.
He came out to Australia and did Adelaide. But anyway, so he was you're throwing me off. What are you doing? Yeah, so but tickets to see Hobo Johnson were $60, right? When you're talking big bands, you're talking hundreds of dollars to go see them. But like I'm more concerned with those smaller shows because I feel like that's where the magic happens. But even then, $60, I'm like, I can afford to go without magic tonight.
On that MCG, the Super Showdown, whatever it's called, like that day, you could at least even it out by going to Wrestle Rock. Well, that was lunchtime on that day, wasn't it?
Yeah. The best part of that weekend was MCW the night before and Wrestle Rock that day, the Wrestle Brunch. Yeah. The Wrestle Brunch was so much fun. And just like catching up with people and meeting people and stuff, because that was like just after we'd started doing the podcast. And so I flew to Melbourne and so meeting people was really cool. And so there was good things about it, but the WWE show was literally the low light of the weekend.
Yeah. Well,
yeah.
I know other people that said it was worth going just to see The Undertaker because it's somebody.
Yeah, that was it.
idolized forever.
That was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the only thing. And I guess maybe like Shawn Michaels too. I don't think I'd seen Shawn Michaels live before that either. And so being there for the entrances, that was cool.
Yeah.
But other than that, yeah. But bringing it back to World Series Wrestling, World Series Wrestling is far more decently priced when they do show up in Adelaide. But I have my doubts that they're going to show up in Adelaide. So I'm prematurely airing my grievances, and I will recant that errance of grievance should they actually come to Adelaide.
In that video, Adrian says that eyeing talent from AEW, Impact, and Ring of Honor. So they don't mention New Japan specifically, or MLW or NWA. Whereas I was hoping it was going to be some of those like NWA people even.
Yeah. I've sent him messages before, man. I'm like, you need to bring out RJ City.
Yeah.
You need to bring out David Arquette. These are the people I want to see. I want to see RJ City.
Yeah. Zicky Dice.
I want to see David Arquette. Zicky Dice, man. Bring out Zicky Dice. Hell, I would love to see fucking, oh man, the name's blanking. I watch too much wrestling and it kills me. The TV champion.
Ricky Starks?
Ricky Starks, yeah. Fuck, that dude can promo. Like, I enjoy him a lot. I think he would be good to see him come out and get on the mic and go back and forth with someone, you know. I think, yeah, but World Series Wrestling always do a good job. There's a lot of World Series Wrestling haters, though.
Are there? Who are these? What? Yeah. Ones that don't get to see them? Is that why?
Well, yeah, I think that's part of it. But I think there's also a lot of Melbourne people will say that, you know, they bring, again, it's that Melbourne entitlement, man. That Melbourne entitlement of, the Brian Cage again. Ugh.
Oh yeah,
like, I'm sorry, motherfucker. Are you angry that you get to see Brian Cage? Like, what the fuck? Like, I don't understand that, because I don't know. I like them having a relatively consistent roster and changing it every now and then. You know,
it keeps storylines going and feuds, and they can build things up instead of just doing like
they built up the Austin Aries.
Yeah.
The Austin Aries Robbie Eagles moment was built up over time. That was great.
God, I hope they don't bring Austin Aries back. We didn't get him last tour, and I was so relieved, because it's just like such go away. I don't want to see you. But you see these comments. Yeah. People want Chris Jericho, Kenny Omega, and the Buck. It's like, you're not getting these guys. Like, you're not
probably not.
You're not getting Chris Jericho. Like, New Japan have to pay him like $100,000 to do each match.
No, Chris Jericho won't be doing it. The Young Bucks are a maybe, you know. Cody's a maybe.
Well, Cody,
I know Cody
said
loves
last time,
WS.
He said Cody will bring himself out on his own dime. He said that in his promo, because that's when he had his knee injury. So
yeah, but wrestlers say all kinds of things. I mean, Will Ospreay's going to move here, you know.
Yeah.
Wrestlers say all kinds of things. You realize it's a work. Yeah.
I could see Cody being
he wants to get you to cheer. So, yeah. No, but I can see Cody coming back. I definitely could. That's the other one, Joey Ryan. People get upset that Joey Ryan's always booked.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, dude, but he gets the loudest fucking reaction every time. So, you know, sit on your hands if you have to.
I like seeing like maybe 5 or 6 people carry over and then maybe drop off a tour and bring some other people in. Just... yeah,
but that's what they do.
Yeah, I know, but
you know, that's what they do. And the thing I love about World Series Wrestling is you get to see these guys right before they make it. Like, think about Ricochet. He came out with the first World Series Wrestling tour when they came back, and then, you know, 6 months later he's on NXT TV. You know, a year later he's on WWE. You know, just people like that.
Well, Brody King was that. I feel like I had never even heard of him, and then he gets signed to Ring of Honor. Then he's turning up in New Japan with Marty.
Jeff Cobb.
Yeah.
Too. Jeff Cobb making a debut today on AEW. We'll talk about that a little bit later. But yeah, so World Series Wrestling coming back in June, and that video was schmick too. We gotta give them that. That video,
the audio was all blown out. I was like, I've got to turn this thing down because it's all, the levels weren't on that. But apart from that, but no doubt,
I'm not necessarily a fan.
When that's on.
Yeah, that's not cool. That's not cool. But I mean, you're going to be in Japan, so
I'm going to.
Don't complain about that.
There's 4 shows currently on. That's while I'm in Japan, in the cities that I'm in. So, yeah,
nice.
Can't complain too much.
But yeah,
out on this.
No, you're going to miss out on some, but you know you're going to be watching some as well. But yeah, I think that the video was fantastic, and the thing that stood out to me though, like I don't normally like videos where it's the promoter being like, Sunday. You know what I mean? Like it feels kind of hokey, but at the same time, like just seeing the production values got me hyped. I was like, oh man, like they can do some amazing stuff.
Well, this is the first time
and when,
Adrian's ever actually put his face out there, isn't it? It's like even on
I think
Facebook,
so.
he uses like a blank profile picture, and he's not front and center at the events. Like I thought, the bald tall guy that does all the ring announcements, like I thought he was the guy. The first couple.
No, that's Sean Fuster.
Yeah.
No, he's the Riot City Wrestling announcer. No, he's a cool dude. He's a cool dude, but he's not the guy. Adrian's the guy. Yeah. He's been he was in an ad for because he runs like a furniture company or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I can't remember if I saw the ad on YouTube or if I saw it in a cinema. It might have been at a cinema. Maybe I'm talking about this and no one else knows. I don't even know if this was this on Facebook? I can't even remember. It might have been at a local cinema when I went to watch a movie, but there was an ad for his furniture shop, and it was like some of the Riot City Wrestling guys like putting him in headlocks and stuff. And they're
cool.
like, we have like mad sales, and I can't remember like what, but it was like, wrestling madness, and yeah, it was amazing. So good. So he has been like public facing before, but not with World Series Wrestling.
Yeah, okay.
With his furniture company. Yeah.
Nice.
But anyway, we got some more Aussie stuff to talk about, I suppose. Just little things here and there, like Adam Brooks signing to Ring of Honor.
Yes, doesn't have a fancy contract like Slex does with Ring of Honor, but then no, he does.
He doesn't have a fancy contract. Yeah.
All
right, mate. Well, he told us a while ago that people came looking for his signature, right? He said that on a show months ago.
Yeah. It was like November,
but he wanted,
I think.
Yeah, but he wanted to win the title first.
Yeah.
So,
and he's defending the NJPW World Heavyweight title overseas in America against TJ Perkins at some stage. So, but he's going to miss the March 21st show. He's in America during that. So
right. Well, good. We can actually call it a world title then.
Oh, it's been defended in New Zealand and the UK, hasn't it? It was Slex defended it.
Yeah, but
and then
my understanding, and this is such a it's such a trivial thing, but my understanding, at least in the old style rules, was to become a world title, you have to be defended on 3 continents.
Oh, okay.
Right? 2 continents, it's just intercontinental. Now, since Australasia is kind of the one continent, New Zealand and Australia, that counts as one, and being defended, I think it was in the UK and maybe Germany.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah,
so that's still
and
one
so
continent.
That's Europe. That's one continent. So technically, it was an intercontinental title.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Technically, but now if it's defended in America, it officially becomes a world title. So the B+ will finally recognize it as a world title.
Oh, nice. They've been waiting for this recognition, I'm sure.
Oh, I'm sure they're like, finally, we get recognized, the recognition we deserve from the B+ podcast. The Loosey Goosey don't know what we're going to talk about next. B+ podcast.
Yeah.
Ring of Honor though signed Adam Brooks. They've signed Slex. So clearly, Marty Skrull is a fan of our Aussie workers. Marty Skrull having come out here with World Series Wrestling a number of times.
Yes, and he's been at MCW before that as well. So I'm sure he's very familiar with Slex. I can't remember if he actually wrestled against Slex on one of those shows. Possibly in a WSW one. So
yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have worked him. He's at least seen his work, right? Because he's been at the same shows. They've met each other. So yeah. But do we think Marty's the one responsible? Like Marty's making some changes over there, right?
We probably shouldn't jump to these conclusions that he's the one that's doing all this, like apparently saving Ring of Honor. Like he got Nick Aldis.
But they were doing nothing.
I know, but
they would.
It just all happens at once. But some stuff could have been in the works already. But hopefully, I'll be very happy if I found out that he was the one that did all this, and that all the G1, not the G1, the Supercard of Honor, all these New Japan people turning back up in Ring of Honor. Like, I'm excited for Ring of Honor, and I'd never even watched a single Ring of Honor show until yesterday. 2 days ago.
Right. Let's talk about that. So what was the Ring of Honor show that you watched? Because I've stopped watching Ring of Honor, right? And all the stuff I'm seeing makes me think, okay, cool, maybe it's worth checking out again soon, because I'm looking at Marty Skrull like I'm looking at the villain like he's some kind of fucking savior, because the stuff that's been happening it's just like a 180 turnaround from the looks of things.
Yeah, so like I watched that Impact pay-per-view Hard to Kill the other month, and
Yeah.
I wasn't absolutely crazy over it. That was there was a lot of these like guys that I'd seen there before, and like RVD, kind of, a shadow of their former self.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bit,
Impact is like MLW and NWA. It's a good wrestling show.
but then
But it doesn't have anything that sets it apart, whereas NWA does because of the nostalgia style.
Yeah.
It's just a good wrestling show,
Then watching Ring of Honor, this pay-per-view thing, I just got excited. Like this is so much stuff seems to be happening here now. There's people that I don't know. Something with the aesthetic though that I didn't like. It just seemed that it's like black and white. All the signs and all that sort of the ring ropes, and it kind of needs a bit of a makeover. I think it needs to be more welcoming to people that like me. It's like I've never watched Ring of Honor before. I don't like New Japan. All this stuff seems to be happening. It's looking up. Got these Australians going over there. And my introduction is, it just seems a bit sterile, or like you have to be one of these long-term fans that know the Briscoes. It doesn't seem
It's
that...
like bingo hall wrestling.
Yeah, it's like there was a decent crowd there, but it was free entry if you were in Honor Club, or I'm not sure if it was just free outright if you were in the area to go to it. Yeah, but it was a good show. Like I really enjoyed most of it. Saw Slex have his first match. That was against Flip Gordon. Wasn't like a blow-away performance, but the crowd reacted to Slex. They were chanting his name. They booed him when he took his sunglasses off at the start. Like he was gonna go for the like, whoa, like when he takes it up, but like he was grabbing them, but like they weren't doing it. So they weren't that familiar with him.
He needs to build it up. They'll get familiar.
Yeah.
But shout out to Falcon Arrow Sound, former guests to the show, who make the music there for MCW. Sleck's still using his Falcon Arrow Sound theme.
Yeah, so that's cool.
So they officially have a theme song on Ring of Honor, and I could not be happier for them. Like that's amazing. I'm so stoked because they work hard on those theme songs, man.
Yeah,
and every single one of them's a banger.
They've only got 3 of them on Spotify at the moment, don't they? I saw the Brat Pack's meant to be going up there soon, I think.
Yeah, I know. Has Indies gone up?
Yeah, Indies was like right about the same time as Slex. And then there was who went up recently? Tarly? Yeah.
Right. And they've got the Adam Brooks one is dope too.
I just thought that was You've Got the Power song. I didn't realize that was somebody had made that. I thought
they did like a remix thing that it's similar chords and stuff. What did they say? It was inspired.
Okay. I just thought it was outright that song that he was
No,
using.
it's different. It's different. It has the rap and stuff.
Oh well, I didn't know. Like that. How old is that song though? That I thought it was.
Because it says like I'm the loose ledge. Like it has like actual references to him in it.
I thought the music was just it, but then somebody added, a remix.
Well, essentially, I think it might be in a different key or something to avoid.
Oh, they did the old WCW, DDP or everybody's song. We just changed.
Yeah, they had to be careful.
Yeah, But so there was a battle royal on this, and it featured Dragon Lee, now known as Ryu Lee, and like I'm watching it and I'm thinking, but this is so crazy because Ryu Lee just had that absolute crazy match against Hiromu, and I'm doing the math in my head. It's like that must have been like 14 hours before this match had taken place, and then like it comes down to Ryu Lee and one other person or 2 other people. And then he rips the mask off, and it was Flip Gordon. I'm like, I fucking knew it. It couldn't have been. It just didn't make sense. And really,
that's amazing.
He had all the gear on, like the mask, the boots, but then he had his baseball jersey thing. I was like, it's really weird he hasn't taken that jersey off yet. And then when it was Flip, it's like, I would have recognized him because just the body of both those guys are quite easy to tell apart.
Yeah.
So, but they had me thinking on my toes. And it was a good show. So I've got this Honor Club thing going. I'll try to check out some more, but I feel I'm going to cancel at some stage because I need to watch PWA apparently, and I can't be paying for 4 different promotions at the same time.
I dumped Honor Club a while ago when Ring of Honor, like after Madison Square Garden, I dumped Honor Club.
Yeah.
And I think I had the Impact one for a little bit. I dumped that as well. PWA is definitely way more worth the money than Honor Club would be, man. Because you get PWA, you get Newcastle Pro Wrestling, and they're live too, right? So being in Australia, like, what are you doing this Saturday night, for example?
Gonna be in Melbourne. Do you want me to continue that sentence? I'm watching Parasite on Saturday night.
Bow chicka wow
Yeah,
wow. Okay, no, so well, if you were doing nothing on Saturday night, you've got PWA's Rick South for the Boys happening, right? As part of the whole Mardi Gras month and stuff. They're doing the big show. And that's live on Overplay, right? So I get home on my Saturday night and I get to sit back, kick off the shoes, and watch Aussie wrestling, even though it's not in my state. It's badass, man.
Well, what about the Saturday after? I'm going to be refereeing at TCW Annihilation at the Elfin Sports Centre, February 26th.
Yeah, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to tee up an interview with someone next week. You reckon Charlie will do the show, right?
I hope so. Yeah, that'd be cool.
I'll reach out to her and see if she wants to come on and have a chat about TCW Annihilation.
Yes.
Not that, I mean, you're here plugging it every fucking week anyway, so
I think it was a bit quiet last week. I didn't go overboard. But
you didn't plug it. I can't remember.
How come Mysterious doesn't really mention his stuff at all? Is he trying to stay separate from that, or what's his deal?
Well, I mean, the thing is, we're not affiliated with anyone, right? But it kind of just became your gimmick because it was hilarious.
Okay.
So we try not to play favorites, right? Like, so I've worked with ACW a few times here and there. Like, I'm probably closest with ACW in terms of, personal relationships. I'm definitely closest with ACW down here. But I try not to play favorites with, what we cover.
Yeah.
Because wrestling can get so political. And I don't want.
Reckon?
Yeah, it's ridiculous,
Yeah.
and I don't want to be. I don't want no part of that shit.
Don't work shoot self into a shoot, brother. Night.
Yeah,
HH.
fuck all that noise. But that said, over time, like I have developed certain promotions and stuff that I won't cover at all because they've sort of burnt their bridges with me, right?
Yeah.
Like I'm not, but initially I'm like, I go into every relationship open and I want to be fair to everyone. But yeah, if you want to plug the TCW stuff, you can go ahead and plug the TCW stuff.
Cool.
I think it's a fun little gimmick.
Yes, thanks. So, yeah.
But yeah, for those who don't know, Mr Myster1ous does announcing for New Horizons Pro Wrestling over in Perth. So, and I think he does a great job at keeping it separate, what he does here with us and what he does with them. I think it's fantastic.
Yeah, I just thought part of the mysterious thing was that, like, I don't want people to know that I'm part of it. So
I don't know where that came from, the Mr Myster1ous thing. He was just like, my name's Mr Myster1ous. I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah.
I don't question these things.
Does he use a gimmick name as a commentator?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Yeah.
That's a good question. Hey, Mr Myster1ous, message me. Do you use that? Is that what you do? Is that the gimmick name for the wrestling? I don't even know.
No, he can't answer it in the messages. He's got to wait until the next podcast.
Wait till the next podcast, and one of us has to not be here. Yeah. Cool. All right.
It'll be you.
But
then you have to wait until the edit to hear.
But this Saturday, Rick South for the Boys, PWA. So you're still not across anything PWA at all?
Across? What do you mean across? Have I watched anything ever?
Yeah.
Still haven't. There was a free show, wasn't there? Like last year, where one of their cameras fucked up, so they like put it up for free. Like I watched that show.
Yeah. The Matty Wahlberg versus Jimmy Havoc, Diego's last show.
Oh yeah. So I saw at least most of that.
That was a pretty good show. Man, get in there and watch the Coliseum. Hey, those 2 Coliseum shows that Mysterious and I went to were fantastic.
I promise I'll watch it within 2 weeks. How's that sound?
All right, sounds good. I look forward to your review. Rick South for the Boys, we've got Sam Osborne and Adam Hoffman facing off. The big one, you've also got the Battle Royal, right? No, the Gauntlet match. Ricky South. All right, it's his show, and he's decided to do an any and all gauntlet match. So people have been slowly announced throughout the week for that. But the big one, there's a few other matches as well. Black Shirt Cool Group are taking on Reese Angel and AJ, which is interesting. Like, I think Reese Angel's kind of obsessed with AJ, or was it the other way around? I'm losing track, but it's fantastic. The big one, the steel cage match for the PWWA Championship. Now, I know you know both of these people from their time in MCW. So you've got Jessica Troy and Steph DeLander, and they're main eventing cage match, first time in PWA Black Label history. Who would you pick as the new PWW or as the new or still PWWA champion coming out of this match?
Well, I just like Jessica Troy way more. So I don't know if booking wise it makes sense or anything, but if I could just pick who I wanted to be the champion, then it would be Jessica Troy.
Right. And Steph DeLander, she dropped the MCW women's title.
Yes, that was a bit surprising so soon.
So yeah, so she dropped that to Avery. So I don't know if like if she was going to walk around with the 2 belts, I think that would have been cool. But otherwise, like I don't know, like they're not going to factor in other companies into their booking decisions. But I just don't think it's time for Jessica Troy to lose it yet. But I've seen a lot of people pulling for Steph DeLander, and yeah, I don't know. I'm big on Jessica Troy for this one. So I'm keen to watch it.
Cage
though,
match,
man.
you said.
Yeah, main event steel cage. It's because I think that like it's going to be hard not to cheer for Jessica Troy in that situation because Steph DeLander is such a powerhouse.
Yeah, yeah. Does she work a similar style when she's in PWA as MCW?
Yeah,
yeah, okay.
Yeah, absolutely,
Yeah.
Absolutely. So she's going to get in there and she's going to throw Jessica Troy around like fucking crazy. You know, and Jessica Troy is going to bump into that cage a few times, and you're going to have to root for her. So I'm looking forward to it. And hopefully Jessica Troy pulls out the victory. But I'll be happy either way because I do like Steph DeLander as well. Like she's a phenomenal talent.
I love how vocal Jessica Troy is during her matches. Like
but still in character.
Yeah. Like one person will yell out something, and then she'll turn around and she'll have some wacky retort to it as well, and then everybody laughs. Yeah, very, very quick.
Yeah, or like literally asking her opponent, like, please, can I get your arm? Like, just while she's trying to grab the arm bar. It's amazing. Yeah, a big fan of Jessica Troy. And people can go back and listen. We've had Jessica Troy on the show in the lead up to Coliseum last year. So, Jessica Troy, friend of the show, I guess we can say. You know, that's a thing, right? Friend of the show.
Yeah.
I hear other shows say that, and I'm like, are they my friends? I don't even know. They're just people that have been on the show, really. But yeah, so that's PWA this weekend. I'm very excited for it. I love Overplay, man. Overplay because you get to. I want more companies to get on Overplay so we can watch more Australian wrestling live.
Is Overplay just for wrestling, or is it like just like normal TV shows as well?
So Overplay do like they have different channels for different sports. So like I think they've got like some sort of car racing. I think they have like I guess squash because at one point the feeds were crossed and we were supposed to get a PWA show, but we got a squash match or something between China and Australia. Yeah.
So all these sports come within the one service. You don't have to pay per sport.
No, you pay per channel. So it's for more obscure sports. Like I know I've talked to them about like I was like, have you thought about getting roller derby on there? Because there's like a lot of roller derby leagues around Australia.
Lacrosse.
Like we want to. They're like we want to. We just have to find a streaming partner.
Yeah.
It's like a group that want to do it or are capable of doing it. But yeah, they do like alternative sports and they bring alternative sports to the world. It's like what was that? You know, in dodgeball, ESPN 8, the Ocho, right? It's like that. It's like ESPN 8 with the squirrel on the waterboarding squirrel thing. Whatever. But no, it's alternative sports and stuff, and you pay per sport though.
Yeah, okay.
So you get the wrestling channel, and that gets you PWA and Newcastle Pro Wrestling. And I want more people to jump on there. Like PCW could go live, surely. Like they're fully kitted out there, aren't they? Their venue.
Yeah, I don't know. Like broadcast wise, because they're on every weekend. I just thought they were on some sort of TV station in Melbourne. Or what are they doing?
No, they have a network. They have a network that's like
a pivot share type of thing.
Yeah, a pivot share, like a demand progress kind of thing. They have the PCW network, but their shows don't go up quickly, not as quickly as some others. So you're kind of a bit behind if you're watching it that way. It's hard to keep up, but they do have the network. I would like to see them go live on Overplay. I would like to see, I want Overplay to sign up a company from each state. I know MCW have apparently been looking at the idea of live streaming, but I like the fact that PWA have been doing this for about a year now and MCW haven't. I feel like it's putting MCW really behind. Like it's hard for me to get as excited about MCW when I'm going to see the results and I'm going to hear you talk about the show before it gets uploaded to Vimeo, right?
Has it been flawless for PWA, or has there been any technical hiccups since they've been doing it?
The stream went, like I said, there was the stream for one of the dojo shows. Started with a squash
Oh, that
match
was
by
that.
accident. And there was one other instance in the Rumble, in the break their backs and make them rumble, where the show just got knocked off air for some reason. They don't even know why. There was just some sort of technical glitch and they had to reset and come back on. But, I think we missed about 4 entrances in the Rumble match because of that. And then as soon as we came back, the commentators brought you all up to speed on everything that happened, and it was just straight back into it.
Oh, so with this OVO thing, is it on demand as well? Can you go back after the fact, or do you have?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
all right.
You can go back. So you watch it live, and then about a day and a half later, you get the notification like, oh, this show's up now to stream whenever you want.
Okay.
And you can go back and watch it as many times as you want.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's $10 for a month or $7 for a week.
Okay, right.
So like, if you just want to sign up for the week of the live show, it only costs you $7. And sometimes it'll be
4
like
weeks as well. So
yeah, and sometimes you can, like, you'll get 2 or 3 shows in that 1 week, like depending on how the PWA and Newcastle Pro Wrestling schedules line up.
Yep.
It's a crazy good deal. It's like the best deal in wrestling TV, in my opinion. Like, how much do I pay for the AEW thing? That's like $8 or something.
yeah, I think it
And-
comes out about $8 Australian.
And like that's going to be my next one to go.
Oh, you're giving up on
PWA.
giving up on just
No,
watching
no,
it?
not at all. Not at all. Not at all. Just if I have to make cuts,
Yeah.
I know that it's the next on the chopping block. But because I get dark on YouTube anyway. And I don't know. I'm just like, but PWA will be the last one. PWA will be the one I'm holding on to, like, for dear life,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll live for that shit.
So, wanted to bring this up. MCW seems to be losing a lot of names over the last 12 months or so, with a bit up in the air what Adam Brooks is going to be doing. Like, when Slex announced that he signed, I thought, well, Ring of Honor, what's their touring schedule like? Don't they record a bunch of episodes at once? So surely he could just do that, then still work MCW when it suits him. But he's had in his promo, I guess I'll see you when I see you, kind of thing. And
Yeah.
now Adam Brooks is signed, and he's still MCW champion, and to see how that plays out. Gino Gambino was like the reigning, like such a long time. He was like the top of the promotion for me in my time of watching, and he's probably had like 2 tag matches, I feel like, in the last 12 months since losing at last year's February show.
They got the big Bullet Club and Chaos thing coming up.
Yeah. Still, just a tag match though. That's not going to be. No, it might be the main event. We'll see. That could be the main event if that's when Brooksy is away. Robbie Eagles, I know he's a PWA guy, but like he was like at a lot of MCW shows, and then since he's been in New Japan, don't see him quite nearly as often. And then we've got like Indy Hartwell's left. She's like one of the top of the women that they would push in MCW.
Jonah Rock.
Yeah, Jonah Rock is gone. Elliot Sexton's gone. Pretty much MIA. Like, what the hell are they doing with him? Nothing is the answer to that. You got the Philippe's going.
Well, he does his
tryout.
YouTube thing still.
Yeah.
He does his YouTube thing.
Yeah, that's true. But wrestling wise, like, you're just wasting this man's life. I was like, he better be getting paid a decent amount, but apparently these NXT people aren't getting paid shit.
Yeah.
And the Philippe's, they went to a WWE tryout. Like, who else are we going to lose? Like, who is going to step into these spots that are opening up? Like, I'd love to see Rishi Taylor, pushed up into that spot. But it looks like he's in the tag division in the foreseeable future. Like, what do you think?
Who's going to step up and headline?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Dowie's the anchor, right? Dowie's going to be the anchor.
Dowie's, as the heel, but who's going to be the actual face, figuratively and literally, of MCW?
That's a good question, man. It's a real good question.
You look at that poster for MCW Fallout, the next show, the 3 faces on it. Jimmy Havoc, a guest, Kellyanne. Is she heel? Like, I feel like everything she's doing is heelish. And Dowie. It's like, who's the guy that we really want to? Who's the man or woman that we really want to go and see? That's like headlining these shows.
Who's the one that we're going to get behind? Yeah.
Crackerjack.
Well, Dowie would say that's the problem, right?
Yeah.
Dowie would say that is the problem. Everyone's leaving, right? And the fans will only get behind like Will Ospreay or Jimmy Havoc, I hate to say it, the hashtag Dowie is right.
Yeah.
Who is coming up? I think maybe. Well, I was going to say Jet. Jet was getting over, right? But Tyson's come back, so they're going to be doing the tag team thing.
And I want to
presumably.
make it sure that, like, I've got nothing against like these guys going to these other companies and doing this stuff.
Of course not.
No,
Of course not.
like, I'm just so glad that Robbie, Gino, Slex, and
Royce
are
Chambers?
not going to WWE.
Yeah. What about Royce Chambers?
Like wrestling wise, like he's incredible. I don't know if he can do a
People
promo
getting behind
with
him.
anyone.
People getting behind him. He's going over to DDT anyway for
Yes.
for a couple of months
so
or
that's
something.
pretty cool.
Yeah. So yeah. Shout out Royce Chambers. He's been on the show before as well. People can go back and
Was
listen to the
Danny
interview.
Psycho going to step up above? Like he's lost that title now to Caveman Ugg. Like is Ugg like is he like he is? The
Well, yeah,
champion in PWA,
Ugg's
isn't he?
Ugg's coming back, right? Like Ugg's moved to Melbourne.
Yeah.
So he's a Melbourne guy now. So he's gonna show up a lot more, and he'll sort of fill that Jonah Rock role of the big hoss guy, right? And you've also got Hartley Jackson's back, right? Jag's back.
Yeah.
So Jag will fill a big spot there at the top as well. I'd like to see Carlo Cannon come back personally.
I've never seen.
I don't
him.
think he's wrestled in I don't think he's wrestled in MCW in a long time.
Yeah.
But like when I go back and watch some of the old shows on the Vimeo, man, Carlo Cannon's dope. I love Carlo Cannon. He's so good. He's had a few injuries and stuff lately, but he just had a match with Eman over in Malaysia.
Yes. You got
So
launched very high in the air.
yeah, Eman died.
Yeah.
Which shout out Eman too. Eman's someone that can go up the card pretty easy. I think. Like I think he could get people behind him.
Yeah.
So like they do have talent, but that's the difference between MCW and PWA. Is like with PWA, if you took out 3 or 4 of the top guys, I don't think it would matter so much because the way they book their shows, like anyone can headline. Like you had the Prefects headliner show not long ago, even though they're kind of a joke act, they got over to the point where they're not, and people take it seriously because everyone's in on it, and they headlined a show. You can have anyone headline in PWA, but in MCW, you're not just going to have, some of the, like, you can't just pluck a Jake Andrew Arthur. You have to really heat him up. You can't just pluck a Atlas Whitaker. You have to really heat him up, MCW has a different style in that way of booking.
Do you think this Edward Dusk guy is going to be pushed as the main act?
Well, it's the thing, they're bringing in people from PCW, aren't they? Because Danny Psycho came in and he was working PCW for a while. And yeah, you've got Edward Dusk has shown up.
Yeah,
Royce Chambers from PCW as well. So, that barrier coming down at least one way is good. So that's pretty cool. But Edward Dusk,
that they're not turning, like, no MCW people that I know of are turning back up in PCW. Like, one way.
Yeah, it'd be good to see the Philippe brothers go back and have a match there before they take off to wherever they end up. Because I know Japan's been interested in them, and obviously they've had the WWE tryout too. But no, Edward Dusk though, like watching his reveal on Vimeo, it's kind of embarrassing.
So you watched that today, did you?
Yeah.
The whole show? Yeah. Like, what
I looked at bits. I was editing the Charlie Matthews interview, which people are about to hear. I was editing that at the same time as like watching a bit. So I was getting bits and pieces, but it was, no one knew who he was.
Yeah. And he didn't do a promo. He, like, I understand, like, in the edit, they put in like a backstage thing where he said something, but for the live audience, we didn't see that. We just, like, he was just cackling and just walked backstage and kept stopping and looking back and just doing a laugh like he was the Joker or something.
Yeah, and it didn't feel like the good kind of silence. It felt like a confused silence.
Yeah,
like people were expecting some kind of payoff that they didn't get.
I think we were all expecting to, like, somebody that we knew, a return.
Yeah, but you gotta let it play out. You gotta let it play out and see where it goes. And that could be someone who steps up. Danny Psycho is definitely someone who can step up. I don't think they're gonna have too much trouble filling the spots.
Yeah. Yeah, just in the short term, it just looks a bit weird.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, so talking about PCW though, Charlie Matthews, that's someone who could go to MCW. He'd like to. I know he'd like to. He wants to get more bookings outside the state. We talked to him about it, so people can listen to our very special Valentine's Day interview, of course, because he was on Love Island, you see. So, Love Island, Valentine's Day, Charlie Matthews. I spoke to him on the phone. We had a chat for about an hour and a half. Now, for the sake of time on the podcast here, I've kind of edited it down to about 40 minutes or so. So about half of the chat is gone, but I am going to release that I'm working on a new podcast venture, just having a chat with people that I find interesting. And so there'll be wrestlers on there. There'll be, people with weird ideas. I really want to talk to a flat earther. I've told you about this a few times, right? I
feel like
really want to talk to a flat earther. Anyone with weird ideas or just interesting shit to say, even if it's absolutely ridiculous. I want to talk to people. So I'm going to do that as a separate thing. And in season 1 of Having a Chat, one of the people on there will be Matt Zukowski, also known as Charlie Matthews. So if you like this chat, stay tuned and I will let you guys know when you can hear the rest of it, because we go into more stuff with Love Island and social media and and a bunch of other things, like just talking about being a fan of wrestling as well. Some of that didn't make it into this edit because just for time, we only have a certain amount of time that we can do this. So I've got a condensed version, but then you can listen to the full interview on another channel later, and I'll let you guys know when that releases. But for now, Charlie Matthews. My guest at this time is an incredibly good-looking individual. In fact, he's actually paid to do that. That's kind of how he makes his money. He's a male model, a social media sensation, I realized as I was having a look through his stuff. He's a former competitor on Love Island Season 2 here in Australia, and of course a professional wrestler, Mr. Matt Zukowski. Charlie Matthews, what do you want me to call you, man?
Bro, it depends. Who do you want to chat to, Matt or Charlie? I mean, we're two different people, so...
I feel like talking to Matt is probably the best, because Matt's got a lot more going on than just Charlie, and Charlie's like a facet of Matt, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, he's an extension of myself, if you know what I mean. He's a branch off of myself that I can get away with a lot more doing. Yeah. I can blame it on Charlie, man.
Yeah, now let's talk to Matt, man. How the fuck are you?
I'm good, man. I'm good. I mean, it's life's busy at the moment. I'm flat out just doing appearances, doing shoots now. Everything's just blown up since getting out the villa. I'm enjoying it though. Don't get me wrong.
So Love Island. I mean, look, before we get to the Love Island stuff, I do want to ask you. You are a male model. The first time I've ever talked to an official male model. Is there more to life than being really, really, really ridiculously good looking?
Look, if there is, I don't know, because I definitely haven't figured it out yet. I've obviously made a lot of money doing modelling. I travelled did Milan Fashion Week, done London Fashion Week a couple of times. I did that while I was younger, and then modeling's good fun.
Man, how'd you get into that? Did someone just come up to you one day, just like you're like, that's how I imagine it happening. Like some random person on the street just being like, "You're really good looking. I want to take photos of you."
No, well, it's not as glamorous as that. I mean, I used to work for my old man doing construction of swimming pools, and I remember waking up one morning and I was like, "Nah, I can't do this much longer." I was like, "Not for me." So I had a mate who was modelling. He was three people, and I messaged him. And I was like, "Hey, bro, how'd you get into it?" He passed on to a phone number. Actually, it's funny. I went to meet who now is my manager, and he was saying how, because I was playing football at the time, Aussie rules, he was saying how I was big, so I was trying to put on as much size as I could. I reckon I was over 100 kilos. And he goes, "Look, you can't be that big to model. You've got to be skinnier." So literally walked out of his office and literally just ate salad for an 6 weeks to 2 months.
Like you were already fit though, right? If you were playing footy and stuff.
Yeah, I was fit, but I was just big. I was just muscly, so I had to walk out, and I dropped 15 kilos for my first photo shoot. So I got the skinny model look, as they say.
So there's a difference between being football fit and model fit, and then again with being wrestler fit, I assume.
Yeah, there is. They're all different, and it's one of my actual difficulties when, because I obviously need to put on size for wrestling. Wrestlers are big boys, so I have to try to put on size for that, but I can't get too, because then I won't fit into the clothes that I'm modelling. So it's a real fine line that I think I'm finding it well at the moment, but yeah, one's got to give at one point.
Yeah. So do you have to go through the bulk and cut cycles and stuff? Is it So you build yourself up for a big wrestling event, and then you're like, oh shit, I got a shoot that I got to cut for, and
Yeah, it's a little bit like that. I don't try and put too much stress on that, if you know what I mean. I just try and stay steady. I find that a lot easier. So I just stay like steadily just like lean and muscly. So that's how I like doing that more. It's better if I can make my sameness as well.
yeah.
You know, just, yeah.
Well, because it's a lifestyle anyway, right? Like you want to be a healthy, fit individual, and so but I imagine that having to deal with like the different kinds of fitness, it's like a big adjustment.
Well, yeah, I mean, you got to be fit for wrestling. Everyone knows that. In the ring, you got to be like cardio fit. And then what's the best way to lose weight? It's doing cardio. So I find that good. Then I can then, you know what I mean, train. It's also keeping me fit for wrestling. And then I just lift a bunch of weights afterwards. Put on a little bit of size, but not too much.
Yeah. And you gotta walk that delicate balance.
Exactly. Yeah. And like I said, I think I found the fine line at the moment. But I think one's got to give. So eventually I'll have to say, all right, I'm going to start putting on some serious size, or I can't. So.
And so with the wrestling, right? Because we talked about the different kinds of fitness for modeling and for wrestling. With the wrestling, like, how long have you been? Is this like are you a lifelong wrestling fan? What's your first memory of professional wrestling?
I remember my very first memory of watching wrestling. It was Scott Steiner having a promo on WCW. I remember standing there with the chainmail. What would you even call that? Headpiece on, and he was
the mesh, the like chainmail thing. Yeah.
Yeah, with it, and he's silver. He had these silver glasses, and I don't remember what he said, but I remember him just talking like the size of him and everything. I was like, this is awesome. You know how WCW used to do those? They used to black everything out and just have the spotlight on just the guy talking in the ring.
Yeah.
Do you know how they used to do that? And I remember just being like, I love this. I was memorized by it.
So this was him, like, genetic freak era, right? Like the early 2000s.
Yeah, around then, yeah. And he was just cutting this promo. I remember what he said. I was like, geez, I love this. My dad was always a massive fan, like, in the 80s. So, like, he then came and watched it with me. So we all just watched, like, WCW. I think it was on a Saturday morning. And he used to watch that. And then I think, like, that stopped. And I remember maybe picking back up in, like, 2004. Around like the Evolution era, and I just loved them. And then just went from there, man. I never looked back. I used to collect all the wrestlers. I used to wrestle my Teddy. I used to just be a mad fanatic fan.
Yeah.
Just loved it.
And so, like, in your general life, though, the modeling came first, right, for the career. How did you decide, I'm going to go and throw myself at the ground and learn how to, put people in headlock? Yeah, like, where did that decision come into it? Like, when did you go, this modeling thing's not fast-paced enough for me?
Look, I remember going to PCW. I remember going to one of their shows. Me and the boys. So every month, me and the boys get together and we'll watch the WWE pay-per-views. We've been doing it now for maybe 6 years. Mm-hmm. So we get together, we'll order pizzas, have beers, and just turned more into a social event now. We just talk and have the wrestling on and just watch it. So we remember talking there one time and we were like, let's go watch the local wrestling and see the flyers up. So we went to Royal Rumble. I can't remember what year it was at PCW, but we went to the Royal Rumble. And I remember watching it and I was like, you know what? Man, I reckon I could give this a go. Not knowing what it takes, not knowing, you know what I mean? Not knowing how hard, how much it hurts to bump and all that sort of stuff. I was like, you know what? I can give this a go. Ended up doing a tryout. I got in and then, the rest of history. I just started getting on shows and wrestling. Right.
And so you've been wrestling now for how many years?
I think I started in 2018. So, no, 2017. August 2017 I started. Yeah.
Started training or that was the first match?
That was when I started training. August 2017. I had my first match February 2018.
Okay, cool. That's always interesting too, is figuring out how long you were training before your first match, because it's different for everyone. Like, some people are like, I had my first match 3 weeks in, and I'm like, how did you not die?
No, I had a spot in a battle royal. So at PCW they have the Destiny Battle Royal, where a lot of the rookies who have been training hard and get a spot in there, and I had a spot in that, and that was after maybe a month and a bit of training, I think. It was not long at all, and I had no idea what I was doing in there. I remember it was sold out. And I got in that ring and I absolutely saw just stars. I had no idea what to do.
Yeah. At
But I
that point,
loved
you're
it, though.
relying on the veterans to sort of guide you.
Yeah, I had a spot with do you know Mia Rose? Do you know she was fresh as well, and then we had the spot to do, and we were relying on someone else to be there at the right time, and they weren't there, and we absolutely lost our feet. And I remember not knowing if anyone could get a girl, and I wasn't pretty confident with my strike, so I remember kind of getting her on the ropes and sort of like coaching her, and I was like asking her, what do we do? I remember this guy in the front row yelling out, shut up and fucking hit her! And I was like, oh my God.
The guy in the crowd gets it. So you're in the ring.
He gets.
It's the blind leading the blind, and then you got some chump in the front row calling the spots for you.
Yeah, I was lost out. But we picked up back, and the rest of the spot was fine. But I was it was like what felt like an eternity, but might have been like 10 seconds. I was very lost.
Dude, I live for those moments. Those moments, whether they're good ones or bad. Like whenever like time stops and slows down completely, and you're just like, I don't know what the fuck's going on right now, and it can be bad or good, but those moments, man, that's what makes life worth it.
Yeah, it does, man. It made me fall in love with it more. I was like, damn, I need to get back out there and do it again.
Yeah,
I loved it.
Well, because you want to improve from there, right? You're like, okay, look, we fucked up there, but like we got something, we can do this.
Exactly. I ended up having a spot with Mia in the Royal Rumble match in front of a Grand Slam last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know, we went from that spot in that Battle Royal to having the spot at Grand Slam in front of like 2,300 people.
Yeah.
Like, a couple of years later. So we definitely, what's the word? We made up for it.
Yeah, it came full circle.
Did.
Yeah, you brought it back around.
Exactly. Yeah.
How was that, like, performing in front of 2,300 people? Like, I feel like when you're on the catwalk, how many people are watching you? Those fashion shows never look huge on TV. Like, I know they're important, but, like, they don't look big in terms of scope.
And it's totally different. Do you know what I mean? Like, I could get, like, you can walk in front of 2,000 people. They're not cheering you. They're not doing anything like that. They're just staring at you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's not like that rush when you walk out and over 2,000 people are, like, cheering or booing you. And,
well, there's nothing like a wrestling crowd. There's nothing like a wrestling crowd. Like, I feel like any sports crowd is still not a wrestling crowd because the wrestling crowd becomes part of the narrative.
Exactly. And you go off what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're listening to them and you're vibing off their cheers or their boos, and at the end of the day, it determines what you're doing. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. But performing in front of 2,300 people, like, that was the biggest show in PCW history, I'm pretty sure, but like, it may even be one of the biggest shows in Australian wrestling history. Like, when we obviously take out the golden era of like the 60s and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, at least in the modern era, 2,300 people, like, that's huge for us.
Yeah, man, it was. Yeah, I reckon. Well done to everyone involved. It was a great feat. And to be honest, it was awesome to perform on it. Like, I say it to people when they ask me, I'm like, the thing that I regret most about it wasn't having a session and taking it in. Do you know what I mean? Like, I came out. I was in the Royal Rumble. I came out last, and I should have just taken it in a bit longer. You know what I mean? I should have like stopped and like had a look around and looked at the crowd and everything. But I just, you know how it is, man. That crowd's going, the match going, and you just get straight into it.
Yeah, that's the thing is, like, when you go to like the big stage, like, you know, you always hear about wrestlers at their first WrestleMania or their first Wrestle Kingdom, and there's always someone that comes up and is just like, make sure you drink it all in. Like, you know, like Robbie was talking to on the Turnbuckle guys, he was talking to them about you know, I think it was Kevin Kelly said to him, make sure you take the time and drink it in, like, don't rush it, like soak in it, because, you know, this is only one time you get to come out here in front of this crowd, this huge and all that sort of stuff. But we don't have that on the local level. There's no one telling you that before you go out there, right?
Well, yeah, exactly. None of us had done it before. None of us had wrestled in front of that many people, so it was fresh to all of us. So
yeah,
we were all backstage, like, we were all nervous. If anyone says they weren't nervous, they're lying. Like, we were standing behind the curtain, with the crowd, and that it was really surreal. And I came out. I just wish, because I got my full entrance, so I got like this thing over the voiceover, and they played all of it, and I just wish I just sat on the stage while the voices, or stood on the stage while the voiceover did my opening thing, and I wish I just done my catwalk up and down the stage for a little while. Like, the 20 seconds like hypes me up. I just wish I'd done that, but for some reason, I got out there and forgot about it. Just started pacing to the ring.
Yeah, but now you get to be
Yeah.
your own veteran for the next Grand Slam. Are we expecting the next Grand Slam? Because that's on March 14th coming up. Are we expecting that to... Is that tracking for ticket sales? Are we expecting it to be just as big?
Yeah, from what I've heard, it's already done. It's selling better than last year. So if we keep that pace up, it's definitely going to smash 2,000. It's going to make 2,300 look cute, I reckon.
Hell yeah.
We're aiming for 3,000. So
That's what I
hopefully
want
we
to
can
hear.
get that.
Yeah, absolutely. Because so you get to be your own veteran now and give yourself that advice. Like, hey, Charlie, slow down, breathe it in, take it in, like drink it in, man. And make sure you pass it on to the others. Anyone listening to this, if you're in a moment like that, like slow down and really, really soak in it.
No, I definitely will be. I mean, I'll be telling all the other kids who are having their first game. I'll be telling them to drink it in as well, because that's one of the I had not to do that. So I was definitely telling all of them.
Yeah. Because that's a crazy moment, and if we're expecting more than 3,000 people, now you've recently returned to in-ring action, right?
Yes, I've done my return just in time for Grand Slam season. Look at that timing.
Yeah, perfect timing. And you're working babyface now, right? Which, I mean, look, you're a male model, you're a natural born heel. I'm a natural born heel. Well, I never wanted to do the model gimmick. I was not keen. I wanted the Ric Flair, Shawn Michaels sort of, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
cocky, arrogant gimmick. But then I remember he was like, no, go with the model gimmick. It's unique. No one else has it. And I was like, yeah, all right. So I ran with it, and I'm grateful that he said to do that, because I ran with it, and it was just natural, and it made me like who I was. You know what I mean? Like it just felt normal to me, and it got a good, like, what's the word, reception, but it wasn't like they hated me for it. They just hated me. It worked.
They hated you in the right way.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, they it just worked. It made sense to me to be that arrogant model, have like my face on my shirt. You know what I mean?
I love that, by the way, because that's like the biggest problem that I and a lot of wrestling fans have had with wrestling shirts. Like when you go back to the 90s and stuff, like all the wrestling shirts had the picture of the wrestler on it, right? And everyone was like, I don't want to walk around with a picture of Macho Man on my shirt. Like, I just want a design that represents Macho Man, you know? And thankfully, wrestling shirts have gotten a lot better lately. But you're like, nah, fuck that. My face. Boom.
Yeah, you put my face straight back, center right on it, and then
just like 80% of the shirt. Just
my face, left, right, and center. Well, you know what? You might not like those shirts all in the 90s. Now, I love those shirts. I still look good. Yeah. I reckon if you're wearing a wrestling shirt, make sure people know it's a fucking wrestling shirt. Not these new ones where it's like, it looks like someone's made some design on, you know what I mean?
See, I'm the opposite. I like a shirt that I don't want to wear a shirt with someone's visage on it, you know?
No, I mean, I want to go to the pub and I've got fucking Shawn Michaels right there, and some bloke comes up to me or some girl's like, you know, I know who Shawn Michaels is, and then they start chatting to you.
Yeah.
I reckon that's a better way.
You can get away with wearing anything, though, really. Let's be real.
Okay.
And some girl's going to come up and start chatting to you.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
what's this? 100,000 followers on Instagram, I noticed, when I had a look, like when we were messaging about setting this up.
Yeah.
Like, holy crap, this guy's a sensation. Like, I thought I was doing well. I have, 500. Like, I'm doing all right on this Instagram thing.
No, I mean, I was on international television on Love Island for 6 weeks. I was in all up 7 weeks on the international television. I mean, everyone knew who I was, and it is marketed for the social media as well.
Right.
So,
yeah.
So and if you're on there for that long, you're gonna get people following you. You know what I mean? And I'm grateful. Like I've seen opened up a lot of opportunities through my social media as well. So I'm grateful for all my followers that follow me. Yeah.
Yeah, but like, okay, Matty Wahlberg was on TV as well, right? For however many weeks the Survivor thing was, and he's only at 5,000. Like, what's going on? Like, how did you get to the 100,000 bump? That's insane. Your DMs must be ridiculous.
When I got off the show, mate, my DMs, some of the DMs, I was that was filthy stuff.
Interesting to scroll through.
Yeah, look, yeah, I had to take a break from it. But no, I was talking to when I before the match, and when me and Maddie were chatting in there, we had a chat about how Love Island, your social medias blow up, and how on Survivor they stay. Well, I think the most out of Survivor would have been like maybe 15,000 followers, maybe.
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but even Charlie Matthews' gimmick page got nearly half of 3,000 followers or something from it.
Yeah.
So it's Love Island's aimed towards and it's advertised on social media, and it's aimed for people. Do you know what I mean? The demographic is people that want to go see you on Instagram, on your social media. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. All right, well,
yeah.
I'm going to bring it back to Matty Wahlberg as well, because you had the match and you spun the angle and stuff, or he spun the angle. I don't know. I want to talk about how that came about. But first, let's talk about Love Island, right? Because you're talking about who it's targeted to and stuff there, and that's where I'm starting to be like, all right, this is my chance. I didn't like it, man. I did not like the show. I tried as a fan of Australian wrestling, even though I'm not too well across PCW. I'm getting better because now that there's the PCW network, I am getting better. Check out PCW network, guys, where you can catch Charlie Matthews doing his thing. But I tried to watch it because I try to be supportive, and we talked about it on the show, and I couldn't get through the first episode.
Look, how far in did you get? Did the girls not get you? Did they not pull you in?
No, I mean, look, obviously all very attractive people. But the thing for me was, like, there was a bunch of things. Like, it was confusing, like, for someone who's never watched that specific show. Like, I understand the format of, like, The Bachelor and stuff like that, even though I haven't watched them. I understand the format. And I know how reality TV works, generally speaking. But, like, I don't know. There was just something about the format. It was so confusing, and the guys were choosing the girls, and the girls didn't have any kind of say in who they were partnered up with on that first episode, I don't think. And I thought that was really weird. I'm just like, they're just gonna do that? Like, that's so strange. And the voiceover, like, I think it was Sophie Monk. It was Sophie Monk that did it, right?
Yeah.
Or did they have a separate voiceover? I don't know. There was just something about it, and I was just like, I can't. I'm trying so hard, and I just can't. And then I tuned into another episode, like, randomly, like halfway through the run, and I was when I saw clips on social media of you crying, I was like, all right, I got to check this out. I got to tune in and watch it, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't do it. Like, I've watched Big Brother and stuff, but there was just something about this show. I don't know what it was. It just
how old are you?
I'm 32.
No, it's 30-year-old bloke. It's not. It's aimed towards the demographic, like 15-year-old girls. You know what I mean? 15 to 18-year-old girls. They love that stuff. And to be honest, man, as bad as it sounds, I wasn't a massive fan of it before I went on. My mate, Justin Lacko, went on last year.
Okay.
And he was on there for 3 weeks. We lived together in Milan and that. And I watched it for him. And then after he got off, I'm not a fan of reality TV, so I fizzled off once he got dumped from the island. But I mean, it is hard for, I think, blokes. A lot of my mates were saying to me, they were like, after it was over, they were like, thank God that's over. We were only watching it just to support you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, that's it. Like, I wanted to be the supportive Aussie wrestling fan. I just couldn't do it. But, like, I kept up to date with bits and pieces and stuff that were happening while you were there. But I couldn't bring myself to watch it. I don't know what it was. And yeah, I guess it's not for me, right? So
no, it's
sense.
not. No, I mean, it's funny I say that. Look, I say that it's aimed towards the demographic 15 to 18-year-old girls and guys, but it's funny. I had a guy actually come up to me with his family the other day. I was walking and he came up to me in the city and he's like, man, like, I'm sorry, like, I have to get a photo with you, Maddie, like, blah, blah, blah. And his kids and his wife had no idea who I was. He watched it.
It was Tony, wasn't it? Was it Tony?
No, he came up to me, and he was like, I watched it with my mates at work, and he was a full-grown man, and he loved it. So,
fair enough.
Fair enough. I was like, it was one of the first. I was in line as well at Coles, and I had I think it would have been pushing 70, 80-year-old man stop me and start telling me how much he loved the show and how much he loved me and that, and I was just like, whoa. Definitely not who normally stops me.
Yeah. Well, I feel like my parents would be more likely to watch it than me because, like, I'm of that, like, Netflix. I don't even watch TV, really. Like, I had to download the app to get, like, because I don't actually have a cable, like a plug-in of, like, a TV antenna. You know what I mean? Like.
Yeah. Jeez, you don't watch it at all.
No, I'm completely cord cut. I can't stand the ads, man.
Yeah. I can agree. It'd be a bit. It's a bit annoying. Well, at least
Yeah.
there are some people that watch it that definitely stayed on the air the whole time.
Yeah,
So
no,
you took us
that's what I
off
mean.
the
Like, it's still
island.
successful, obviously, but I feel like TV is more of an old person thing now. Like, I'm surprised that it.
No, that's a fair thing as well, because when we were in there, one of the producers was having a chat to us, and he was like, look, it's not doing as well as we thought, blah blah blah. He was saying like, we don't know if it has to do with moving to, because they were on 9 the year before and now we're on Channel 9, all that sort of stuff. But he was like, look, we don't care about the ratings. It's aimed for people that are going to go stream it live on YouTube, stream it on 9 Now and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
That's where they knew that
they make it
the
up on the
ratings
back end.
Yeah, they make it, on the back end for that. They knew that the sit down and watch TV, don't watch Love Island, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The parents, those families don't watch it.
No, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so they said that to us as well.
Yeah. Right. So the Matty Wahlberg thing. So he kind of, that was just him. He worked that angle himself and ended up booked into a match.
How much can I say on here or what?
Yeah, go for it, man. That's all we do.
No. We were scheduled to verse on that day, because I obviously told the promoter that I was going on the show, and I was like, I can't exercise about it. Survivor. She's like, wasn't there that guy on Survivor who was a wrestler? And I was like, yeah. I didn't know much of him at the time. I was like, yeah, Matty Wahlberg or something. So I pitched the idea to my promoter, and he loved it. So they ran with that. But I didn't know that they were going to do that. I thought the angle was going to start once I was out.
Once you got back, right?
I didn't know he was like slagging me off the whole time I was in there, all that sort of stuff. And then what made it better was when I was in there, my brother that was in there that I made best mates with, Owen, starts giving Matty Wahlberg shit back. I couldn't believe it when I got out. I was like, this whole thing's happened while I'm stuck in that bubble. And I was like, yeah, it actually made for a pretty good story to go ahead between us.
Yeah, and it was a natural story too. It was like, obviously, like, he's just had a reality show. Now you have a reality show, and like he was building it for so long, man, because I remember talking to him before he went into before Survivor started airing. So Survivor and Love Island were different in that Love Island was airing while you were there, right?
Yeah, 24 hours turnaround. So we'd be sitting there and we'd be like, what are they watching tonight? Last night.
Yeah.
Like, what are we...
Yeah, right. But Survivor was, they went away and filmed, and then, 2 months later or something like that, it went on air, right?
Yeah.
And so I talked to Matty, and everything on the show has happened, but none of it has aired. And I talked to him for the podcast to hype up the show. And and at that point, so before Survivor has even gone on the air, before Love Island has started, at that point, he's already saying, oh, you got other wrestlers, or they call themselves wrestlers, but they're not really wrestlers. They're just people that look good, and they're trying to be wrestlers, but they're not really, and they're going on reality shows, making us all look bad. He was building it, like, way before anyone knew, like, you were even going on another reality show. It's fucking masterful.
Yeah. Look, I was annoyed as well that when I came off, I didn't do more to help build the match, but like, when I got off, those 4 weeks when I first got off was so intense. I got time to, so I was annoyed about that, and I thank him a lot for how well he did it building up the match. And I really, he did well. Yeah.
Did it turn into numbers at the gate?
Yeah, it did. We got a full house, so that was good.
That's good.
There was a lot of, like, my friends there, Bob Island there, a couple of my other friends there.
Did you bring any of the stuff from the shows into it?
Oh yeah, we had like the when he walked out, he had those, what are they called? I don't know.
The tiki torch.
Yeah, we had a couple of them out.
Right.
We were going to do a full thing for me, but we didn't do that. He put on at the start of the show and like called out all the Love Island people. It was pretty funny. He did that, but no, nothing apart from that. I didn't really do much from the shows,
Yeah.
I didn't think it didn't need anything. We just had to go out there and just like do what we did, and I think we killed it that match.
Yeah.
Really well.
I'm big Matty Wahlberg fan, so like it doesn't surprise me that like he came down, did a great job, working the crowd and stuff, because he's insane on the mic.
Mate, my mates are telling me after the show they were like, thank God you didn't have to run out there after the mic. And I was like, what do you mean? And they're like, even though you can talk some shit, they're like, he would have schooled you. And I'm like, yeah, I know. I was standing on the curtain and I was like, yeah, probably best I'm just standing back here.
Yeah. It's well booked from top to bottom. But that's awesome. Yeah. So working face now, how different is that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, some of the feedback I got from my match against Matty Wahlberg was that I just have the same cell the whole time. Like, I mean, like, you know what I mean? The same pump up sort of stuff. So I've got to get used to all that. But apart from that, like, it's just the whole, like, getting the reactions from the crowd has been pretty easy because they're so, you know what I mean? Like, it's Matt's here sort of thing. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So that's been pretty easy so far. So I've got to, I got to, even structuring my moveset was a bit difficult as well because I wanted to still keep my moves in from all the heel.
Yeah.
I wanted to, do you know what I mean? Like, try and put them into as a face. So that as well has been challenging, but I'm sort of I'm getting used to that now.
Because heels and faces have to have completely different movesets, right?
Yeah, well, I was doing something to Matty in that match, and I remember I got just a bit stumped because obviously I hadn't wrestled in a while, so I started doing my choke to him. And like afterwards, everyone's like, "Why are you choking him?" I was like, "Mate, I just went to what I knew what to do. My natural thing, you know." So I gave him like my Charlie Matthews choke, and I was like, it just came to me. And I let it take a while to not get used to that. Yeah.
What was the thought process coming back as a face? Was it just like you're the returning hero because you'd been away?
Yeah, that was
flying the flag kind of thing.
Yeah, so there was that. So what we did was I had I came out into the spot. Again, it was in a match with my old manager and Andy Walker. So he's a face, and I came out and we wanted to see what the reaction was. When I first ran out, they were cheering, they were getting around it, and then I powerbombed Andy Walker, who was a face, and the crowd just sort of went like silent, and it was like, whoa, like what's going on? And then I sort of like walked out. And then I did this promo on my manager, who's a heel, and I dumped her. And then I was back to like real over, like they were loving me after I did that. So it was a bit of that. And then when Matty Wahlberg came out, he then slagged off, you know, PCW, Melbourne, and me, and all that. And then that definitely did help me get that face pop again. When I came
he did the Matty Wahlberg thing.
Yeah, he definitely, he's awesome to work with. He was really good. Yeah, really awesome.
Yeah,
definitely, mate.
That's the thing with Matty is like he hasn't been doing it a whole lot longer either. Like you guys are both relative, like young in the game.
I was so surprised when he told me because I didn't know till I had a phone call with him and he told me, yeah, he's only been doing it for like 4 years. And I was like, what? I was like, I mean, I guess there's the age into that and that sort of stuff, and like he was like his martial arts background and all that helped him pick up a lot more stuff quicker as well. But I was really surprised. Yeah, I was like, what? I was like, the same amount of time. He carries himself like he's been doing it for a lot longer.
Yeah, I think a part of that as well is coming out of that PWA Academy, right? Yeah. Like, have you been up to Sydney and checked out
I haven't.
PWA stuff at all?
No, I haven't. I want to. That's the next time I'm up there, I'm going to try train there.
Yeah, because you got to think about it. You got Robbie Eagles, Madison Eagles, Mick Moretti, Jack Bonza, like these, all of the nations, Hoffman and stuff. They're all training and stuff. You got people that have traveled the world. I mean, people like Billy Kay and Peyton Royce. There we go. KC Cassidy, but that's the Aussie wrestling fan of it. Billy Kay and Peyton Royce came through there. It's such a polished school and environment. And that's got to be different. Like, I mean, obviously PCW they have their system and their system works, obviously, because you got guys coming out there like, the Phillip brothers going on to huge success. Indy Hartwell going on to huge success, So it's not to say that, the PCW school is second rate in any way, but you've got people in that PWA Academy that are world traveled.
Every academy is different, and they all have different training styles, and that's why it's so good. I feel that you wrestle around and you pick up other people's styles, other people's knowledge, because everyone has a different wrestling like that. I feel that everyone has a different, not opinion, but a different way of doing things. But it's at the end of the day, it's still the same outcome.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So that's why.
Well, I've talked about this before. Like even just when it comes to how to bump, like when I learnt in Sydney. taking a front bump was a specific thing. But then when I learnt in Adelaide at a different school here in Adelaide, they get taught to front bump a different way, right? So I got taught you shoot your leg out and you put your head to the side.
Yep. Yeah,
right?
And rolls
but
and everything.
They do
different.
It's all slightly different.
Yeah.
Even what it's called sometimes, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but it's all same at the end of the day. Like it's all,
it's like this weird like wrestling, because you hear about like, you know, you can wrestle someone who you don't even speak the same language as, because wrestling is its own language, but then it's almost like wrestling has like these tiny little dialectical changes from region to region, which is crazy.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Yeah, that's. I think
who do you think, who's your favorite person to work with? Obviously, we've talked about the Maddie match a few times, and working with Maddie was great, but who's your favorite person to work with that you work with on a more regular basis?
On PCW? Wake. Zach. Do you know Wake? Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing to work with. So easy going and all that, and then just crazy in the ring as well. Absolutely crazy. I've had a lot of good matches. I owe a lot of my, like, getting to know wrestling to him as well. He's really good. I versed him a lot. He, I think he won first term I versed him. He was, I was putting heat to him, and he was like getting the crowd back into it, and he's going like, ha, ha, ha. He goes that, and he starts like headbutting the ring, the canvas, and I was like, what? I remember that looking at him.
What is going on?
Yeah, and I was looking at him, and I was like, because if you've met him outside of Lake, as Zach, he's a real chill guy, and he starts headbutting the ring, and I was like, Jesus, stop it, bro! You're gonna knock yourself out. And he's just like,
only
not
in wrestling, right?
Yeah, not at work or nothing, just headbutting it. And then I remember people saying, they were like, bites. You know how he does all the biting gimmicks?
Yeah.
I'm sure he doesn't. But I remember like the bites, and he's actually biting my fingers, and I was like, all right, here we go.
He's like, shoot, bite. Wait, so he's shoot headbutting the canvas. And for people who don't know, like, when you put together the ring, you put down those wood boards, and then it's like a real thin layer.
Yeah,
it's like, it's not much padding there at all. And he's just headbutting a wood board, essentially.
Yeah, just full headbutting it. Yeah, he's just going nuts on it. And I was like, what is going on? I was pretty green as well, so I was like, what's going on? And then over time, I learned we verse each other a lot, and then I learned that like his style and all that. And I just for character development, his character, like the unhinged like monster thing he's going for, worked well with my pretty boy model gimmick. So we had some good matches. I remember we had
can do there.
Yeah, there's a lot we did, and then Sid Parker came into the mix of it as well, and then we had like some good stories with him as well. So yeah,
man, Sid Parker, I fucking love watching Sid Parker work. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. He's so entrancing.
He's good. He's good as well. Yeah.
He draws you in, but the thing is, he never stays in one place long. Like, he's in MCW for a bit. He's gone. I don't know what's going on. I'm just like, there's nowhere I can consistently watch this guy work.
He's been working at PCW a fair bit recently. I think the whole time I was away in that. Yeah, I think I'm going into something with him. So yeah, because I came out.
So he's that spot with the backflip stomp, man.
Yeah,
like the moonsault stomp.
Yeah, I like
it's insane.
It's cool. I like that, man. Yeah. Have you seen the Money in the Bank ladder match spot with me and him?
I don't think I have. No.
When I get him in a tree of woe on the ladder, and then I get my phone and I start selfie recording.
Oh, you're doing the selfie cam, right?
Yeah, and then he does.
I love the selfie cam gimmick.
Yeah, and then he sits up and missed me, and I get it all on camera. And I fall off the top of the ladder, and as I'm like, I don't know how I managed this. It a literal mist in my face, and I'm sitting there, and like I've got the camera half on me, and I'm like squealing, and then past me you can see Sid unbuckling the briefcase. It was just the perfect video of everything. It just worked out so well.
That's amazing.
So something I was like before the match, I was like, I don't even want to film, but as I got handed my phone, I'm so great. I'm so happy I did.
It's one of those things, mate. You're in the zone, and your body's just doing what it does, man.
Yeah. So we got a good video out of that.
Works out. Yeah. Because how do you fall off a ladder? You know?
And I was focusing on the bump and everything, but somehow I managed to get that camera literally on my face the whole time. I don't know.
That's so good. That's so good.
I'll send you that as well.
I haven't seen that video. I'll have to. You got to send me that because I want to see that. The perfect angle. Like
Yeah.
I want to be the judge. You know?
Yeah, well, I think you'll be pleasantly surprised.
That's awesome. But, yeah, no, I love Sid, man. I love his work, and it's it's one of those things. Like, I feel like he's one of those guys that should be everywhere. You
Yeah,
know?
no, he works a bit around Melbourne, but does he travel to states much? I don't know.
I know he comes over here. He's done a couple of ACW shows here in Adelaide Championship Wrestling.
Yeah.
What about yourself? Have you done much traveling for
No,
wrestling? You've mostly worked in
I
PCW,
haven't.
right?
Yeah, I have. Yeah, I want to try to get out and broaden my thing as well. And this is the thing that I saw coming off the show, that a lot of promotions would want to capitalize on my social media following and all that. But I was pretty not disappointed in, like, that's the wrong word to say, but like I was like, oh, okay, like I don't think promoters realise the reach I have now. Do you know what I mean? Like, I love PCW, and
Yeah.
I always call that home and always wrestle there. But then I want to bring eyes to that product by me. Do you know what I mean? Bringing more Australian fans to interstate and all that. Trying to get people, I want to watch this Charlie bloke, so they get onto the network and watch my stuff. Do you know what I mean? So I wanna
Yeah,
do
for
that,
sure.
but-
And so,
but
do you promote your wrestling shows on your shoot social media?
I will promote Grand Slam. I haven't had a chance. I haven't had a chance yet. I heard nothing really too. I've had one match against Matty Wahlberg, and I advertised that obviously on my shoot media. But I haven't.
Yeah.
I haven't yet. I
Okay,
haven't
fair
had
enough.
any matches on it yet. Yeah.
Because
But-
you have the gimmick account as well. I noticed that. Like, there's the two accounts.
Yeah. I feel like my audience as well on Matt Zukowski won't be that interested in my wrestling stuff either. Do you know what I mean? I don't feel like that's why they're
You
following.
only know if you try, though, right? Like,
Well, I got a lot of feedback back when I was posting about stories about me versus Matty Wahlberg. I was getting a lot of people asking, oh, where is it, blah, blah, when are you going to wrestle in this state, when are you going to wrestle in this state, and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, so I might try it again. I'll definitely be posting something on there before Grand Slam, once I know what I'm doing at
but
Grand
like what I'm
Slam.
saying is, like, any promoters listening, you know,
Yeah.
like, you've got 100,000 people on there. Like, even if you're just posting a story being like, heading to Sydney for, you know,
Mate, the reach,
FPC, like, whatever it is, you know.
the reach.
I don't want to name check any promotions, but yeah, like,
the reach that I would get and the reach you get through social media, and I don't know, I feel like a lot of not people think about that. Do you know what I mean? And then not many Australian wrestling promotions are using social media as a platform. I think there's a couple that do it really well. I feel there's a couple out there that do, but there's some that I don't feel don't.
yeah.
I don't know.
I feel like the big boys, like your PWA and MCW, are pretty on top of the social media game.
Yeah.
But everyone else could take a lesson or two.
Yeah, well, no, like, I don't want to slag anyone off. I'm not here to do that, but like,
No. But
I feel like that's the way of the future is social media. You've studied it, you know that the way, like, that's as much as we like it or not, like it is. Do you know what I mean?
it's how we connect at the moment.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and it's only growing bigger and bigger. Yeah,
It's fascinating to me too because it's made like the concept of mainstream is so like foreign now. Like there's just a million little niches, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
everything's about niche marketing now, and social media is all about finding that niche and speaking to that niche.
Exactly.
Whereas before you wanted to run ads on the biggest things you could, like the Super Bowl ads and stuff. I'm surprised Super Bowl ads are still as big as they are, given that we've moved into this niche world. Like, like, you can't have huge megastars anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think Super Bowl ads will always be because they've got that rep. They will
Because it's
always,
the legacy thing. Yeah.
they'll always have that. But you're right. When I got off, spoke to management and all that, the first thing they said to me was, "What's your brand?" And I was like, "What are you on about?" And they're like, "Well, look, if you're going to go down the social media thing, you need to know what your brand is." And I was like, "Oh, I'm Matt Zukowski." And they're like, "No, like, what are you aiming? Like, what are you aiming to? Who are you aiming your stuff towards? Who are you aiming your content? What's the basis of your content going to be? All that sort of stuff." And I was like, "Well, I'm a model and a wrestler." I was like, "So what goes with that is like fitness and fashion." And I was like, "That's probably the angle I'll go." And then they're like, "Well, there's a lot of fitness, like, influencers and like personalities on social media." And I was like, "But how many are a wrestler?" I was like, "How many do wrestling? How many are in the island? You know, how many have that international modeling background?" So I feel like I've got my own little brand there, my niche that I've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that's the thing, right? With that, like I've always thought that there's a market for wrestlers selling workout tapes. You know, well, not tapes, obviously, but like workout programs and stuff.
Yeah,
That are like, get ring ready. You know,
Yeah,
even if you don't want to be in the ring, like get ring ready. You know, like there's an opportunity there. I had a friend once. He was in a punk band, and he was like, I want to do fitness for punks. Right, get yourself in peak physical condition so that you can tackle any mosh pit. And I'm like, that's fucking brilliant, dude.
That is actually. I mean, there's something in that definitely. Did he run that?
But where he fell off was he was trying to get like licensing for music, and no one wanted to be a part of it. And I was like, that's fucking dumb. They're all dumb. Why did no one want to be a part of that? It sounded brilliant to me. I was like, I'd buy that. Hell yeah.
Maybe I'll do something then. I'll keep that in my back of my mind. But keep that with me. Let me think about that.
I've always thought that that's the thing. Like, I'm surprised. Like, I mean, DDP does it, right? Like, he's just different, obviously, DDPY thing. But like, I don't understand why like you couldn't be like, because the strains you have to put yourself through, your body has to be ready for all sorts of things. Like the way wrestlers train their necks and stuff, especially. I don't know. I always thought that there's an opportunity there.
There is,
because it's like bodybuilding but more functional.
Yeah, or just like, yeah. Well, yeah, I think there's something in that. Yeah. I like it.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Anyway, but you want to travel though. So promoters listening, hit up our boy Matt, because Charlie Matthews is good to go.
Yeah, look, I like I said, I was surprised that people didn't want me to like. Yeah, I was surprised. I feel like it'd be beneficial. Well, I want to go work around and like, you know what I mean? Like even investing in Buddy Wahlberg and his style, like it was just, you know what I mean? It definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it took me, to pick up their style and his way of like going over matches and that. It was good to learn. Yeah.
It's good for everyone when
exactly.
people are able to travel and do that. I've noticed lately, did you work the Blaze Aid show?
The what?
The Blaze Aid thing, for the bushfire relief. That because I know there were some PCW guys on that, the MCW one.
Oh no, I didn't get that either. I wanted to work.
I got a notification yesterday from MCW that a new video has gone up on Vimeo, so I'm guessing it's that. I haven't watched it, but yeah, I've noticed that the barriers are kind of starting to break down, maybe even between like the PCW and the rest of the Melbourne scene. Like guys are starting to work other places.
Edward Dusk and Royce are working MCW.
Yeah,
I've seen that. Yeah, I feel like there is. It's beneficial for everyone if we work around. Like I was saying, full circle here. I was like what I was saying before about how when we got off the show, everyone should be helping each other. We should all be building Australian wrestling, and there shouldn't be any rivalries. We should be in competition, but to build it better and like make it bigger and bring more eyes to it. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, Mm-hmm.
100%. Like that's where we come from here at the B+. That's like our attitude here, and that's what we encourage any promotion out there. Like, don't put, because you hear stories about promotions that are like, you're our guys. Someone told me that a trainer once told them, you'll learn everything you ever need to know about wrestling right here.
Not like
anyone who says that to you, like they're working you, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Can you imagine going to a school for anything? Like, could you imagine going to a school for cooking and just like, even if it was like Gordon Ramsay's school for cooking, right? And he's just like, I will teach you everything you could ever possibly know about cooking. Like, nah, dude, you're full of shit.
Yeah,
that's impossible.
No, that's not going to happen. No. No, you need to work around, learn other people's. Like I said, everyone has a different style of wrestling sort of thing.
Yeah. The different dialects, and you fine tune the way you as an individual speak wrestling, the way you perform this art by performing it with as many varied people as possible. Like if you're a jazz musician, you don't just jam with the same 4 guys forever. No,
you got to go. Yeah, you got to go, and even like that's the same as dancing. Don't dance with the same people. You learn. Like, and all that sort of stuff, their rhythm, their moves, and all that,
Yeah, you got to spread your wings, man.
Exactly, yeah. No, I'm excited
for
come up to work around and all that. And I'm excited for that. Grow my brand, Charlie Matthews, and then bring it back and all that sort of stuff. I'm keen to do that.
Hell yeah. Well, I think this is a good place then to leave it, man. So where, like, what have you got coming up that you wanna let people know about, and then where can people find you on the the devil that is social media?
I've literally just got a couple of shows. I've put aside as much as I can for Grand Slam. Like, I obviously want Grand Slam to be a massive success. So I put away a couple of weekends coming up to that I'm not booking anything. I'm going to work some PCW shows, and then get Grand Slam. But after that, nothing really planned. Just going to play it by ear and see what happens next. But yeah, to follow me on social media, if you want, who do they want to follow, Charlie or Matthew? It depends, really. So
Just give them both. Give them both. Because like I said, we're gonna two podcasts. So yeah, give them both.
Okay, so if you want to follow Matt, go to @Matt Zukowski, or Charlie Matthews is @the Charlie Matthews. Yeah, and then just where all my stuff's at. Get into my.
Thanks so much for coming on the show.
That's
man.
right.
Thanks
for having me, brother. It's been a good chat.
All right, so there you have it, Charlie Matthews. Happy Valentine's Day, Love Island people that are, I don't know. I wonder if we're going to get anyone listening from Love Island. Hi, people from Love Island. Is Love Island actually a place? I should have asked him that. Where was Love Island? Because I didn't pay enough attention to the show to know where it was.
I don't watch any of these dating reality show TVs. I don't. I'm sure I've said it before, but I don't have my TV connected to an aerial or terrestrial TV.
No, neither do I. Neither do I. I had to download an app, and I couldn't. I said it, and people just heard it in the interview. I couldn't get through one episode of this. it just was not for me. Survivor, I managed to stick through till the end and watch all the way till the end, with Harry and Maddie Wahlberg. But no, this show, even though because I knew it was Charlie Matthews is on it, support Aussie wrestlers. Let's check it out. I could not get through the first episode. So sorry. But if anyone is coming here to Charlie Matthews from Love Island, he's also a wrestler, and Australian wrestling is dope, and you should stick around because Australian wrestling is amazing, and you should get out to shows and go watch it. But let's talk about some overseas wrestling. Yeah, we've talked a lot about Australia, I think.
Yes. Very heavy with the Australian stuff today.
That's good, man. That's what we do here. We watch global, support local. Yeah. But let's rush through some because my dinner's ready. So let's rush through some AEW stuff, man. Did you catch today's show?
Only like the first 10 minutes, so I didn't know what time we were recording exactly. We had a ballpark figure, and it's like, let's see if I can watch anything after work.
Yeah, fair enough. Oh, I didn't watch last week's AEW until today.
Yep.
So I watched 2 episodes of AEW today, but Jeff Cobb is now in AEW. It was kind of weird because they actually had him show up at the end. Spoiler alert for you.
Yeah, no. I saw an image of Matt Hardy replying to a tweet about Jeff Cobb in AEW, and I'm thinking that's a weird thing for Matt Hardy to talk about. I was like,
well, look,
I thought somebody
we'll
said,
get to Matt Hardy.
Yeah, I thought somebody questioned, like, oh, do you think like Jeff Cobb should go to AEW? And I saw him talk about that, and I'm thinking that's a weird thing to bring up. But I saw a picture.
So he showed up. He attacked. He's got a match with Moxley next week, and it was interesting because like they had him attack at the end, and they actually had him there. But earlier in the show, Jericho said, "I've scoured the world for an opponent for you, and you're going to face Jeff Cobb." Like he said it. Like why? That was the one thing for this week's show where I was like, why? Why didn't you just say and you'll find out who it is, and then have him attack at the end of the episodes? Everyone will be like, "Oh, that's Jeff Cobb." Oh my god, you know what I mean? Like, why did they name him earlier? It made no sense.
How much earlier was it? Was it the same segment or like way earlier in the show?
It was, it was like an earlier segment in the show.
I wonder if that sort of got out on social media, and then they wanted people to switch channels from NXT. It's like, fucking hell, what? Jeff Cobb's going to turn up? Could have been that.
Maybe that could be a strategy, I guess. But you could have leaked it on social media with like, reporters,
Did they face each other in the G1 last year?
Dave Meltzer sends out a tweet. I think Jeff Cobb's backstage. You know what I mean? Like
John Moxley and Jeff Cobb faced each other last year in New Japan.
Did they?
Yeah, they were both in the B block.
In the G1?
Yeah, on G1.
Ah, there you go. But yeah, so they got a match. They got a match coming up next week. You wanted to talk about Matt Hardy, right? Because obviously that's the Twitter thing. But Matt Hardy's left WWE.
Is his contract expired now? Is he?
Is that-
He did that goodbye tweet and it had a video, had a picture of him. And I heard about this promo that he had with Randy on this whole angle, and I thought this sounds fucking fantastic. And I actually went on WWE YouTube and I watched this thing, and I'm like, oh man, I love Matt Hardy so much. Like when I got into WWE, like he was my guy. Like in the
Yeah.
like 99 around that period or something. And here he is looking like
Most people prefer
1999.
Jeff.
No, I was never a Jeff guy. Like I just thought he
Right.
was crap. I don't know. But, yeah, Matt Hardy, like dressed as 1999 Matt Hardy, was I'd only recent years, you know, all the broken and the woken Matt Hardy stuff. But seeing him with the hair back like that and everything, and then his promo was fantastic about Edge and all that. And then he just fights back against Randy Orton and then got RKO'd. So and then concertoed. So is he? That's him getting ridden off. I'd like to think, and hopefully turning up as this Dark Order exalted one.
Right. So he said goodbye on Twitter, right? So is that he's left WWE? He's finished there? Is it that he's retiring? Is he just working us? Who knows?
I just hope he's gone. I want this to be a major loss for WWE, that they throw all this bloody crates full of cash at him and they can't get somebody like him to stay.
Well, they never did anything with Matt Hardy, right? Like
that first.
I mean, they did the Woken thing, which was their version of the Broken thing, but
it was never good.
But Matt Hardy's one of those guys who, like, he just has a mind for it, and he has constant ideas and characters, and he's stifled there.
He's in such good shape.
He's stifled.
Like I hadn't seen him have a match since the TNA, like that end, like all that broken stuff. And then I saw his when they came back in the WrestleMania and won the tag belts, which was awesome. And then seeing him in this Randy Orton segment, it's like, man, Matt Hardy, he's like in fantastic shape for somebody his age and the amount of bumps that he's taken in his life, the damage he's done to himself. I thought he was going to die from an overdose years ago, back when he was back in Ring of Honor.
A lot of people did. He's got a good story that I'm glad that he's
Matt Hardy won't die.
I hope he stays that way. Yeah, I hope he stays that way. Have you watched that documentary? The documentary with him?
No. When did this come out?
There was one on the network, on the WWE network. I can't remember when it was, but I saw it a while ago on the WWE network, man, and I cried. I cried like a bitch, like 3 times in that.
Was it an actual documentary, or was it one of those 60s or 24s or one of those things?
No, I'm pretty sure it was like an actual documentary. I'll see if I can pull it up and find what it was. But yeah, it was like his story. And talking about his addiction and stuff and his kids and all that stuff. And it was just, it broke me multiple times at multiple points. It got me. They've got a good one coming out this weekend. I think the Ruthless Aggression one.
Okay. Yeah. I saw something about this happening.
And I'm like, dude, that was my era.
Yeah.
Right? Like the end of the Attitude Era and the start of like just after the Invasion and stuff, and the Ruthless Aggression era was
Hot Lesbian Action. Was that part of Ruthless Aggression era? HLA?
Was it?
I saw that fit in there. Eric Bischoff doing the wedding thing with the 3-minute warning. That was all Ruthless Aggression time, wasn't it? Was that like 2002 to 2000?
Yeah, 3-minute warning and stuff. Yeah. Maybe I've blanked out this HLA thing. What's
Hot Lesbian Action? That was HLA. It must have been like a Tori Wilson, all that stuff in WWE.
Yeah, I mean, they were around. Yeah, definitely.
You don't remember the HLA? That was a thing in WWE.
I don't explicitly remember it. No, like I've obviously I know the phrase, so it's ringing a bell in my head.
Yeah,
like I do know it, but also I don't.
God, you're so woke.
No, it's not. It's not about that. It's not about that at all. It's just that, like, I don't care for that. I mean, not that.
Unforgiven 2002.
I don't know how to get out of this, man.
Where she played part in the HLA theme that former WWE Raw manager Eric Bischoff built up around that pay-per-view. Baker was taken. Who's this? Katana Baker. I don't remember that name at all. With Bischoff and a second lesbian, and was scheduled to perform lesbianistic antics with Stephanie McMahon.
Yeah, no, man. Look, I don't know. I mean, I was a kid, I didn't care.
How old were you? How old are you now?
I don't know. What year are you talking? What year?
It's like 2002.
2002? I would have been like 13, 14.
Okay. Just a young whippersnapper.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a bit younger than you, I think.
Yeah,
so yeah. But like so I don't know. I didn't watch wrestling for that, you know?
No, I definitely wasn't either. At that time,
I didn't watch wrestling. I didn't watch wrestling for hot lesbian action. If I wanted that, my brother had some magazines under his mattress. You know,
oh, I just sent a picture to the group chat.
I'm from an era when magazines were still where you got your porn.
Yeah, check the group chat, Greg, for the lesbians.
The lesbians. They had a graphic. Oh my god!
This company knows.
Is this on Wrestle Crap?
No,
Is this on Wrestle Crap? It's got to be.
I just don't know. I just googled WWE HLA, and this was the first thing that came up.
That's amazing. Look, this whole time I've been trying to find this this documentary, and now I'm thinking I've imagined it. So because I can't find it at all. Matt Hardy documentary, WWE Network. Let's see if that brings it up.
Oh,
because I went on to the WWE Network and searched Matt Hardy. So it was WWE 24, The Hardys Woken. No, I don't think that was it. Air delete. No, that was the one where they actually did a network special, a Halloween network special with Matt Hardy. That was fantastic.
The house or something, wasn't it?
Yeah. That was brilliant.
More on the WWE Network a little bit later, though.
Yeah.
So
I can't remember. It might have been that 24. It might have been Woken, but I don't think it was. I felt like it was a different thing, and it was anyway. It was fantastic, and people should watch it if they can find it.
But so we're holding out for the day that we hear AEW. You knew I'd come. We want that, don't we?
Yeah, I think he makes sense as the Exalted One, but I'm leaning towards Christopher Daniels because Christopher Daniels is the fallen angel. He could be an amazing cult leader.
Well, Christopher Daniels, he might just be the fallback in case Matt doesn't go. Did you know that Christopher Daniels originally was meant to be the higher power guy? You know, Vince McMahon, it was me, Austin, it was me all along.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I heard this. That would have been amazing.
Yeah.
And it would have made him a megastar. Think how different wrestling history could be.
It could have just been a footnote if that happened. It could have been it could have been a Katie Vick thing. It could have been who was AJ Styles meant to be having that thing with in TNA before he left.
It could have been, but it also
Claire Lynch.
It could have been, but it also could have led to Undertaker versus Christopher Daniels at a WrestleMania. You know what I mean?
Maybe.
It could have been incredible. Because did they want him to be a wrestler in that role, or
I
did they
don't know
want him
anything
to
further.
be a manager?
I don't know anything further. So.
Because if they wanted him to be a wrestler in that role, man, I think it could have gone fantastically. And the whole entire wrestling landscape could be different. I know that sounds crazy, but it could be, you know?
Well, we wouldn't have the memes of, it was me, Austin, you know.
Maybe WCW would have bought WWE because of that.
Yeah,
who knows?
I don't know. I do like Vince McMahon has got there's great GIF reactions to group chats. You know, you got the Stacy Keibler dancing on the table and then him fainting or whatever, falling off the chair.
Yeah, him masturbating to Muscle Man.
Yeah, Vince McMahon strutting and all that sort of stuff. You know.
Yeah. Although the Vince McMahon strut has kind of been replaced by the Conor McGregor strut, which is just him imitating the Vince McMahon strut.
Do you think this John Moxley shoulder thing, is that sort of leaning into Vince McMahon strut area? No,
it's completely different.
Yeah, okay.
It's completely different. You see, he took out Santana's eye today.
Didn't he do that last week? No, that was the previous week.
Oh, was that last week?
Yeah.
That was, okay, because I watched that today as well. I watched last week's today as well. So all I remember is that he took out his eye, and it was fantastic. I'm like, dude, that's amazing. That's such, they're telling really good stories. AEW, they're really finding their groove. I feel like they're really finding their groove. Hangman Adam Page is getting rehabbed, right? They're building him up nicely.
He might actually need rehab with his drinking, with all this drinking he's doing.
But handing someone the beer thing, it's getting over as hell, man. He's so over now. This is the point where if it keeps going on this trajectory, he's going to be able to dethrone a champion at some point, you know?
I don't know. Just the whole alcohol thing rubs me kind of the wrong way, just with me quitting alcohol now.
It's your personal story.
Yeah, it'll be 6 months next week. And
Don't be such a snowflake. But congratulations.
I don't know, like Adam Page is fucking awesome, and I just I'm a little bit torn on the way that the audience is like, yeah, we're drinking, that sort of attitude, you know.
Yeah.
It's just
I
a me
get what you're
thing.
saying.
Like, I don't want to hold it against anybody, but you know.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Like we all have our things. For me, it's heart attacks. When people say you almost gave me a heart attack, I'm like, dude, heart attacks are so fucking serious. Right?
Yeah.
Like everyone has their things, and so, but like I can understand why that would why it would potentially rub you the wrong way. But it's getting over. It's really over.
He gets a hot tag in, and it's a super mega hot tag. Like the reactions that he gets just for getting tagged in sometimes, it's pretty incredible.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and so because I caught up today, I watched the whipping. Did you watch this part?
Yeah. This last week, watching the whipping, I'm like, that was
Dude.
an experience.
It was masterfully done. They milked it just the right amount. Like I feel like that is AEW's first like moment, like monumental moment where like if the company lasts for 20 years, you know, or if the company lasts for 10 years, 15 years, you're going to see video packages with that. You know what I mean?
I feel like Cody and Dustin, the bloodbath, like I thought that was a moment as well. Like that was pre-Dynamite, if you want to break it up like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but this is their first big TV moment, I think, that I can think of.
Yeah, it's not a huge moment, but like, remember when Cody like wrapped this? MJF gave him the scarf and he wrapped it around his fist and smashed in the window for the corporate box. Like that felt like a big deal as well at the time. It's kind of just forgotten with now.
Yeah, well, no, but like I'm talking like the kind of thing that you'll still talk about 10 years from now.
Yeah. Not going to be
the MJF turn and the MJF turn, and then the whipping for the match, and you know, and Cody having to stick it out, like that stuff. People will still talk about that 10 years from now. I feel like.
Yeah. Do you think if John Moxley keeps this eye patch thing going for another 6 months, maybe that could be a thing as well? It's like just identify memory. Like you think AEW, you think Cody getting whipped, you think this guy running around with an eye patch for a year or something.
Yeah. 100%. Well, like the eye patch could become like Cowboy Bob Orton's
I was thinking that too.
You know, right? Like it absolutely could become that. But Santana's got one too.
So
are they both gonna run around? Or is Santana's like gonna heal?
Or they've both got to do it forever.
Well, or Santana's like could heal. He could be like, "Oh, we got you better than you got us." I don't know. I don't know, man. But it was great when he did that whole an eye for an eye thing. Oh man, I was into it. I'm digging AEW a lot, and I'm very, very glad that the Nightmare Collective is over.
Yeah. I didn't hate it as much as what's the other thing? The Dark Order, like. When Dark
Order's gotten better.
The lowest of Dark Order was far lower than anything that Nightmare Collective have done.
I just thought that Brandy wasn't convincing in her promos.
As the manager, like I don't know, I like part of it, but then they did the Luther and Mel and like we just get like the idea that they could just pull a random person out of the crowd and she's like, oh yes, I'm going to sacrifice my head, and like that whole thing. The idea of bringing somebody in from the audience to take part in the show, like I don't think that's ever a good idea.
Yeah. It was definitely weird. So there's a lot of good going on in AEW. What about over in New Japan? Give us our New Japan update, Osaka Ben.
So we had the New Beginning tour just taken place. So we had a couple of days
in Osaka.
Yes, I'll be in that building. Yes, they sold out Osaka Joe Hall. Makes me a little bit worried for when tickets go on sale for a much bigger show for Dominion, the second biggest show of the year, or possibly third, because we do have the Madison Square Garden show was announced for August 22nd, I believe. So they're returning there,
right,
for what will probably be. There's no Ring of Honor involvement announced at this stage, but plenty of time for that to change. But headlining this show, we had Kenta. Getting beaten. It was a valiant effort trying to take on Tetsuya Naito for the double gold. Just a really like a big time New Japan match. You know what you're going to get. Have you watched any of this show, by the way?
I have not. I haven't had a chance, unfortunately. Yeah. I've gotten really into a series called Kolok 1991 on Hyper RPG on YouTube. and so it's taking a lot of my time where I should be watching wrestling.
You watch plenty. I wouldn't pressure yourself to watch anything extra.
Yeah. But I've gotten super into this show. It's really fucking weird. If anyone's into weird shit, it's people playing. It's like people playing Dungeons and Dragons, but it's not Dungeons and Dragons. It's a game called Kids on Bikes, and it's kind of like Stranger Things, but kind of like it's set in 1991, and it's
Is it in a,
sometimes got like a Monster of the Week vibe. I don't know. It's supernatural, weird stuff. Kids with superpowers, and it's fantastic.
Yeah.
And I've been addicted to it, and I've been tweeting about it, and I've been addicted to it.
maybe that's where
and
I've seen
it's
this
fucking
thing turn up.
crazy.
Yeah, I was like, "What's this Kolak thing?" Yeah, in your
Yeah.
tweets. But there's
It would have been.
the semi-main event was my favorite match on the show. This John Moxley and Minoru Suzuki, like they had at least one tag match against each other, and like their interactions were lacking. I thought I was like, "Oh, we're going to get just more of this," but you know, they brawled all over the place. They were smashing chairs and tables, and it was like really, really good match. Like way better than I expected it to be. Like I was high. Trying to speak here. I was expecting a lot, but then after the tag match, I was like, this is not going to deliver as high as I thought it was. But it was really good. And then third from the top was Rhea Lee and Hiromu Takahashi. Hiromu, you know, it's like he never even got injured. He's just
Yeah, I've heard this match was incredible,
first
and I will be
they were
seeking
just
this
like
out.
chopping each other. Like like one of his pecs was black the next day. Like he had a photo on social media. It was disgusting. But excellent match from them. And the last one I'll mention was Jay White and Sonata. You know, they wrestled for almost 22 minutes, and there was nothing memorable except for when Jay White almost dropped Sonata on his head when he was trying to do like the Sonata was going over the skull end, but then they botched, and it was almost disastrous.
Oof.
But they saved it in like probably a centimeter to spare. But overall, the match was pretty boring. You know, nothing wrong with the match, but it was a boring match. And I guess so. Jay White got the win. I guess he's looking good going into the New Japan Cup when that kicks off. And also on New Japan front, the schedule is insane. March, I think there's more days of the month that have shows that don't. I'm only going to be watching the ones with like title matches or some sort of implications because it's going to be brutal trying to keep up with anything. So that's the New Japan minute from me.
The New Japan minute.
Yeah,
Sick. I like it. Let's keep it quick.
yeah, I know. You've got food going cold, I know.
Oh no, dude. No, the thing is too, we've started doing intermittent fasting.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And so I have like a window, but it's fine. Like I got plenty of time, but we do still have to talk about the WWE Network, right? You mentioned this before. So WWE had their quarterly earnings call, and because of the changes now, because the presidents, Michelle Wilson
Yep.
and George Barrios,
Yeah, that's it.
they were let go. They got the sack
I know.
quite unceremoniously
Yeah.
from the looks of things. Yeah. And they've got a new CFO who stepped in, who's got like some pompous name. You guys talked about this last week. And but Vince McMahon was on the call, and everyone had questions, and people went hard at him too. But there was like a passing comment about them potentially selling some of their premium content,
Which you've got to assume is the pay-per-views.
to one of the majors. Yeah. So the big ones that I'm hearing are, you know, NBC, who are already partners with WWE because they own USA, which Raw is on USA.
And they've got that
NBC are launching a Peacock
them.
streaming service. Yeah. And so the rumor is that they're going to go there, or like a ESPN Plus or Disney Plus, or one of these more aggregated services that collects a bunch of different things and puts them on one streaming service. So WWE Network will lose all its value. I mean, like the library
is
stick,
NXT because people can, like in America or Northern,
it's on USA. But again, this, like, are we going to get NBC Peacock here? Probably not. So will it change things for us? Probably, because WWE don't think international. It's really fucking weird because they're such a global behemoth, but they just, like, they didn't think about any other country when they did that NXT deal, right? They were just so concerned with counter programming AEW. They were like, well, fuck all the other countries. We need to get it on TV here, right?
And it was like
And so
2-day delay. Oh, was it 24-hour delay? Like
24-hour delay.
What-
Yeah. So now in Australia, we don't get to watch it live anymore.
Yeah.
And so that's taken all the wind out of NXT sales for me. All of it. Like, it's hard to get excited about NXT when I can't watch it until the next
you
day.
can watch
I prefer to
NXT
watch things
UK
live.
though. You want to keep the network for that?
If they counter this by saying, okay, our pay-per-views are moving off, but we're turning WWE Network into a wrestling network where you have our entire library, all the archives, all the old stuff that we own, like the Mid-South and all that, because that's still good value. It is. But if they also then say, you're going to get Progress, you're going to get Evolve, you're going to get, and they sign up a few partner promotions, maybe it's still worth it.
Would they have to lower the price?
But
at
without,
all?
I don't know if they take the pay-per-views off and put them somewhere else and they don't lower the price, I think you're going to see the network drop to like under 1 million subscribers.
What about takeovers? Do you think they are included with the premium
know,
content?
I don't know. You would think so, but maybe not. Maybe the takeovers stay on the network and that's people's main reason. In which case you'll sign up for it once every 3 months. You know, like you're not gonna. I don't know. I mean, I don't pay for WWE Network anymore anyway. Like I haven't for a long time. And I know a lot of people haven't. And that's probably why they're doing this. And it seems like that's why the presidents got ousted, because Michelle Wilson and George Barrios were big. Like the WWE Network was like their baby. And clearly Vince isn't happy with how it's gone. And he realizes that the money is in selling. But it speaks to their failure to make their customers happy. And so now we aren't their customers. Big corporations who want content are their customers, not us.
That's why the XFL is even happening. You know, it's a thing that then a network, they want content, they'll give us like SmackDown money. You know,
yeah. Which let's close with the XFL, man, because goddamn, football is back. Oh, I am so fucking happy.
Have you picked a team?
I
yet?
love the XFL. No, I have not picked a team because I'm not an idiot.
What? You can't wait like 2 weeks and then see who's on top of the ladder and then just pick them.
I'm not going to pick who's on top of the ladder.
I don't even know if the team won.
I haven't watched all the games yet. I've watched 2 of the games, so I still have 2 more games to watch, and then I'm going to give it another week. At the moment, I am leaning towards the Renegades.
Hey, that's my team.
So the Dallas Renegades.
Yeah.
I'm leaning towards the Dallas Renegades, the Seattle Dragons, or the DC Defenders. I still need to. I've heard good things about the New York Guardians, so I don't know. I haven't picked a team yet,
Well,
and I won't until.
What about the rating?
But I enjoyed the way they played. And I enjoy it. Like they've got the OSU, the former head coach from Oklahoma. So he's probably the highest profile coach in the league. I think. Having a quick see. Here's the thing. I used to be a massive NFL fan. Massive. I never really got into the college game because there's just too much to follow. Like in terms of like the divisions and the teams and stuff. But I was a big fan of the NFL. But the NFL kind of fucked me.
Oh.
On a deal that they had. They had this deal where like if you referred people to sign up to the NFL Network, and the NFL Network costs like $250.
Jeez.
Right?
Yeah. Is there different
for a year?
Different tiers? Is that just to watch everything, or what if you only want to watch one team?
That was. I don't think they have a one team option. I don't know what it's like anymore. Like this was, I'm talking like 6 years ago. I quit watching NFL because they had a deal where like if you referred people to sign up, they would send you a $200 Visa, like a prepaid Visa card, right? With $200 US. And here's the thing. I was like, I signed up for the NFL Network because it gave you the cool thing was you could watch the games just whistle to whistle. So instead, all the stuff that happens between the plays was cut out.
The red zone pass or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
I remember
the red zone pass. That's
right. Like, podcast. Yeah.
And so you just watch whistle to whistle, and it was fucking amazing.
Yeah, the game. How long would a game go for then? That'd be really good.
Yeah, it was like an hour and 15 minutes. You know.
That's what
It was great.
Raw needs to do.
Yeah, and so I would
Yeah.
watch every Green Bay Packers game in full, but I would watch, the other games that seemed major, I would watch with the Red Zone Pass thing, and it was fantastic. And they also had a network with lots of documentaries and stuff. It was great. I was into it, and I recommended some friends, and I had some friends sign up enough to get this $200, two of these $200 prepaid visas, and I never got them. And I emailed, and they were like, "Oh, we'll look into it." And I never got them. And I emailed
Is it
again.
because you're in Australia?
And they never responded. No, because the terms and conditions didn't say anything about you need to be a US resident. Right? I checked that. I'm not an idiot. I checked that. I screenshotted it. I sent it to them. I'm like, what's the reason for this? Like, did you forget to put that it's only for US residents? And they were like, oh, we'll look into it. And then no one ever got back to me. So as far as I'm concerned, the NFL owes me $400. And until such a time that they pay me that $400, you know what I was going to use the $400 on? I was going to use it on one of the authentic replica jerseys that feels exactly like the jerseys that they play in, right? I was going to give the money literally straight back to them. It's just a principle thing. If you have a fucking deal on your site, because I did go on Reddit and people on Reddit were like, yeah, I didn't get mine either. I didn't get mine. There was a lot of us. And I was like, no,
or out of the US?
No, there was one dude who was in like Alabama.
Yeah.
And so I was like, on principle, I am not watching NFL until they give me my $400. And they have not given me my $400. I don't think it's happening. No, this was over 5 years ago at this point. I've written it off. And so I haven't watched any Gridiron since then. I've watched some South Australian Gridiron on YouTube. When I was like, maybe I could go play Gridiron. Maybe I'd be interested in that. But then I was like, no, because then I'd want to watch it more. And now I can watch it because XFL, they don't owe me money. And so I have no... So I'm stoked on this, man. I'm stoked. And and as well, they've made some really strong innovations. Did you actually watch any of the games or are you just looking at their names?
I'm just looking at the names in the bios.
Okay.
No way. And I saw the GIFs. I saw somebody spew their guts up at the starting line. And what else did I see? Some tackles. Nothing else.
Did you see the cameraman almost get run over?
No. I did see the sideline interview where the guys are, yeah, we're just trying to fucking win or whatever it was.
Dude, the XFL is amazing. One of the memes that I loved so much is like, person gets into car crash, XFL. How do you feel about the car crash you just got into? Like, because they were like right there as soon as the guy misses his kick. Or, and it's like, so, and like the commentators called it out. They're like, where were you when he made the kick? Like, why did so fucking good. But like those things like that, you could tell there was Vince McMahon innovations because it was stuff that makes it more action driven, right? Like they fixed the kickoff. The kickoff is better now. It's more action driven. You're getting more bang for your buck on that first play of the game. You also, having the option after the touchdown to convert for 1, 2, or 3 points from the different yard lines. Yeah. I think strategically that's so amazing for the future. Like there's so many ways that can go in tighter games. We haven't seen any really tight games yet. The closest game I think was the first of the season, which was the Defenders and the Dragons. And that's why both of them, I really enjoyed watching both of those teams play. And as well, it comes down to the presentation, man, like those sideline interviews and the camera getting right in there when they're huddling and hearing the plays being called by the coaches on the sidelines. It was such an entertaining presentation. It did not feel like I was watching it for 3 hours. Whereas Monday Night Raw,
feels
like Vince,
like 4 hours.
Yeah, like how can you make a football game not feel like 3 hours, but you make wrestling, which should be even more exciting, and it feels like 8 hours when I watch your 3 hour show? I think Vince's priorities have clearly shifted because this XFL is a really good product.
Do you think it'll get?
I'm enjoying it.
Is it guaranteed for 2 seasons yet at this stage, or what's the future looking like?
Oh, I haven't followed any of the news or anything. I did find some XFL podcasts that I've put into my queue, but like I said, I've been binging this Kolok thing, so I haven't even gotten around to watching the 4th game from last week yet.
The ratings were pretty good, weren't they? Like 3.5 million for something.
Yeah, no, I did hear that. I did hear that it was a big ratings win.
See what
and as well in terms of ticket sales, I did see this as well on one of the articles I read about the launch. In terms of ticket sales, already for the first 2 weeks, they've sold more tickets than the AAF did last year,
Yeah.
like in the entire season.
Yeah.
So they're gearing up for a second season for sure. And I think as well, I'm seeing a lot of fans and stuff on Twitter. And obviously Twitter is a like it's a pocket of a pocket. It's a cesspool, yeah, but it's also a pocket of a pocket. It's a very small sample size. But I've seen a lot of fans on Twitter being like, sick, I could be a football fan again for this reason or that reason or whatever. They've turned off NFL. You know, a lot of people turning off because of the Colin Kaepernick thing. A lot of people turning off just because they think it's gotten too big and ridiculous. Like, there's always going to be those people. And there's a lot of people saying that XFL is just going to be a feeder league for the NFL. And I think you may see that a little, but I don't think that's going to be the case. I think XFL will grow its own fan base, and I think potentially it could be good. I'm excited about football, man.
I can tell.
It's just, you got to understand, it's been so long since I got to watch, you know? And I know it's self-imposed, but I'm a principled man.
Do you still get Madden video games and all that?
No, when it's free. Like, I got the Madden
Game
17 or something was like, yeah, for with PS4 PlayStation Network, they give you free games every now and then. So
When was that? I've got the PlayStation Network. Never got a Madden game. I got an NBA one a while ago.
yeah, I got NBA 2K16, and I'm pretty sure it was Madden. It might have been 16 as well. I don't know. I'd have to check.
Yeah.
I can tell you, but I've got a Madden game on my PlayStation.
Yeah.
I don't know where it came from, but yeah, no, but I haven't played it. I don't think. I'm looking forward to an XFL game. I'm looking forward to an AEW game too, because WWE games are awful. But yeah, that's let's close with that, man. I'm happy about XFL. That's nice. Maybe we should start an XFL podcast.
No, I'm not watching it.
No, I don't. I'm not hardcore enough with my knowledge to get into that. But I'm. It's fun to watch again, and I got to pick a team because I got to get a jersey because some of them are good, some of them are nice too. Some of the jerseys, specifically, like if I'm going for fashion, I might end up with the Defenders or the Guardians.
I didn't even look at the outfits. I just looked at the logos. So maybe I need to reassess my decision.
Yeah, you got to look at the jersey, man, because if you're going to support the team, you're going to wear the colors. You want it to look good on you, right? Like that's got to be part of it. That's got to be part of it. But that does it for the B+ Wrestling podcast, Wrestling and XFL podcast, I guess. Where can people find you online, Mr. Osaka Ben Tokyo?
At Asia Mania Pod. And I forgot last week to give a shout out to my number one favorite listener out there, and that's Corey. When next, Corey.
Yeah.
Pre Clash of the Titans MCW event, met up with Jules and all these people were there, all the regulars that you see there at the venue, and then Corey's there, and then he puts his hand out, gives me a big old handshake and smiles. I'm like, it took me about half a second. I was like, oh, I know what's going on. Yes, thank you. So thanks for that.
Now that you're not big shotting him, being like, I'm the guy from the podcast.
Yeah. But before I sign off, before you get to your bit, I just want to say, girlfriend. Okay.
All right. Cool.
Someone's gonna.
Yeah, you didn't mention her this episode. What the fuck? I am at GregUnchained on Twitter, at the GregUnchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B+ Wrestler on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit B+ Wrestling everywhere else. Like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do, and thank you so much for listening.